march on in. We going live right now. Sip on some wine or Bacardi while the spotlight is bright. Grab a seat for the Monday night panel. Nick and the Mars coming through with the light.
Hope nobody gets stung. Avoid that killer bee. Don't get bit by Sue Ellen. The squad is finally free. United with one ambition, seeking out the missing. Monday night we on a mission. United with one ambition, searching for the missing. Mod Squad on a mission.
No time for breaks, got the ammo in hand. Find the porch perp and make him shake. We standing for Nancy and the truth across this land. Fight for the people when they voices start to break.
Hope nobody gets stung. Avoid that killer bee. Don't get bit by Sue Ellen. The squad is finally free. United with one ambition, seeking out the missing. Monday night we on a mission. United with one ambition, searching for the missing. My squad on a mission, marching past the desert line. Sheriff Manos is a goon, looking like he wants to fly straight up to the moon. The justice gotta come soon. United with one ambition, seeking out the missing. Monday night we on a mission. United with one ambition, searching for the missing. My squad on a mission, rise with hearts ablaze. Never let the justice fade. Rise with hearts ablaze. The mission is already made. Shout out Nika RPG.
Lord, one day we out here.
Hi, welcome in, everyone. Just getting set up here. Hope everyone is having a great Monday, as Mondays go.
Got some new people in. Let's see. Watching the sky. Awesome. Welcome to the channel.
Is it just me, Mystic? I don't know if I can hear you very well.
Is it me? Let me see.
Can everyone else hear Mystic good, or is it low, or is it just me? I have different headphones, so it could be just me.
Yeah, how do I sound, guys? Do I need to yell?
I can hear you.
Is this low?
Yes.
Very low.
How low? Too low.
How about now?
That's good. I'm ready to talk, so no.
You guys hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I think I'll just make them open now. How was everyone's weekend? Hi, Marianne.
My weekend was good. I went to a few more concert shows, as people may have seen on my page. I was posting some videos, but yeah, I had a good weekend. How was your weekend, Mystic?
It was boring.
Boring is good sometimes.
It is sometimes, isn't it? It's better than. But it was boring. I spent a lot of time working on my channel. And a lot of time watching your videos from your Blues Fest. I'm so jealous.
Right? Like some of the shows they have down there, and that you can just like walk down the street and enjoy the show for free is something that I guess, I should not take for granted, that not just everyone can go down the road a little bit, take their dog for a walk and see Gwen Stefani play. But
Yeah, no kidding.
the festival's been running a long time here. It's a blues festival, but it's since adapted into all kinds of music. So it's pretty interesting.
Okay, so we have Hiders joining us tonight. Hi, Hiders.
Hello.
Hi, Ryder.
Hey, how are you?
Welcome to our panel. I'm good. How are you?
Good, thanks. Not too bad.
How was your weekend?
Am I echoing?
No.
I didn't
Do you hear an echo? Oh,
She might have been.
classic rule: go out and come back in.
Really? Marianne, are you incognito? Can you guys still hear me okay?
Yeah, you're low, but I hear you. It's like there's a fan, but I don't think that's the problem. It just seems like your actual volume is low. Hi, everybody in chat. I've said hi to a lot of you already, but hi, Christine. Hi, DJ. Welcome in Watching the Sky. Marianne. I saw Karen G in her here earlier. Whiskey Frequency. Welcome, Christy. Robin. Hi, how you doing? Tasha. Welcome in. Carol. Sweet Bree.
A lot of new faces in tonight. Okay, Hiders, how are we doing? Is that an echo still?
What is that?
Do you still have
Do
an
you hear
echo?
that?
Repeat it again, ladies. I'm sorry.
Do you have an echo?
Oh, no, I do not. Thank you.
Nice. Okay. That fixed it then, at least.
Yes. Well, I hit the wrong button and
Oh,
popped
you
off.
just snuck out. I'm out of here.
All right, for those that don't know, we're just here about to. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I
can hear
can't.
you.
I can hear a little something in the background. I don't know what it's from.
Maybe I need to go out and come back in.
That might fix it.
I'm gonna try that. Take
Okay.
care, guys.
So I think first and foremost, I wanted to talk about tonight the boys and their upcoming courts. Alex has court tomorrow, so I just wanted to touch base a little bit on that. And Juice has court, I guess August 13th was the day they scheduled when he just had court last
Um,
week. I think it. Did you want to say something, Hiders? No?
No, I said okay. I said, oh, okay. Thank you for
Oh,
that.
okay. Yeah, you can jump in at any time if you want to say something. I can stop talking. I'm good at that, sort of.
Aw.
Mystic.
Okay, how's that?
I can still hear it. Do you have a window open for YouTube?
No, I don't.
Hmm.
It's like I wonder if I hear your rain shower. Is that what we hear?
No, and we only have really light rain right now.
Yeah, I don't hear any thunder, so it can't be that.
You move the baby monitors further away. I don't know. I got the mic right in front of me too. It just could be the mic.
Yeah, DJ, I mod from a phone quite often. The phone is my go-to device. I'm sometimes double, triple, or quintuple device, as Tim might tell you. But yeah, my phone is my go-to, and I do most of my moderating from the phone.
Same here. I do a lot from my phone.
right? They're like mini tablets.
Yes.
I'm thinking maybe I should do more for my phone because this isn't working too well. Okay, so Hiders, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know a lot of people see you in the blue in some channels. Tell us.
Right. Let's see, a little bit about me. Well, I live a peaceful life and I love it. With my 2 teen boys, and I have 2 doggy daughters. I live in Florida, just like you. And it's really hot right now. I'm a Gulf War veteran, and I've always had a passion to help others. And I just finished a big milestone, a degree, and using that to help others. Crime and justice.
I want to thank you for your service, Hiders.
Thank you so much.
Definitely. See, that's the thing about, a lot of people, they see the mods on other channels and they really don't know who they are. They just see us type in the chat. And I think it's great to, for the mods to come on and get to know them, And, we're real people. We have lives. We don't just manage channels. We don't just type in chat. We boot people. More to it. A little bit about myself for those new people that are coming in, because we have a lot of those. Again, like Hiders just said, I am in Florida. It's hot, but it's cloudy. We have a little pressure out here. It's giving us some clouds, and that's a blessing. I don't do nothing. I stay at home. I take care of both my parents. I have an 11-year-old daughter that has high functioning autism. I have 3 fur babies, 2 little piglets. I have 4 birds.
Did you just say you have piglets? How adorable.
No, they're not piglets. They're little guinea pigs.
Are they like potbelly pigs?
No, guinea pigs.
Oh, guinea pigs. Sorry.
Piggies. Oh my god. So yeah, I have a little zoo. Yeah, Paige. And hey, that could be a thing. But yeah, I don't live an interesting life. I chill with you guys mostly. I do have a channel that I'm working on just to, for the people that are struggling in any way mentally, try to lift their spirits or whatever. So I've been having a lot of fun playing with that and playing around in chat GPT, creating stuff. But that's about it. That's my life. How about you, Brenda? What do you do?
Well, I'm up here in Canada causing all that smoke for you guys. I'm smoking too much. No, just kidding. I'm a fur mom too. Got a 4-year-old mutt, we'll call him. He's super adorable. I went back to school recently and got a degree as a law clerk. So that's been pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to my second career and second life. So I'm working for lawyers. That's what I do now. So it's pretty exciting. I'm actually also taking a private investigator course. I want to be a private investigator in the future years. So that's what I'm working towards.
How cool is that?
But yeah, YouTube has been a great fun. I'm really enjoying modding, and I mod on 3 channels now. I'm here on Nick's channel. I help out on Nikki's channel. And now I'm on Michelle's new channel, Cases and Conversations.
Wow, that's amazing. Good stuff.
That is awesome, yeah.
Yeah, that's really awesome. See,
It's kind of like we're sort of very similar with our new path.
yeah,
Right? It's like we've all been brought together, and for a reason, I think.
Oh, of course. Everything is. Yeah, because I'm starting over too. You know, in the military, it was all about ordnance and aircraft, and you know, that's just not something I want to do anymore. Um, so I started over, just like you did.
I think that's important that, you know, like people don't be afraid to start over. It's never too late. And if you've always like wanted to do something, it's not too late. Just start doing it. Just, you know, reach out, get the connections, get the schooling, whatever needs to be done. But it's not too late.
Never, never too late. If you have woken up this morning, it's never too late.
Right. It's never too late to even start over in the day. You know, start over your day. Have a bad moment, start over. So that, you know, people use that all throughout your day and what they're making in life. Okay, I'm gonna try to get one.
That's the meaning of the title of my YouTube, Designing My Life, is designing the life that I truly want to live. You can redesign at any point, anytime.
Yeah, there you go. I put it up in chat.
I just subscribed.
Aw, thank you.
You did. I saw you put mine in there. Thank you very much. Did you put your own?
Yeah, I threw it in there. Everybody, if you haven't subscribed yet, check out Mystic's channel. There are some really great things there to help relax after stressful days. The rain on the porch is easy to fall asleep to.
Yes.
There's some really great things you're posting, Mystic.
We have some, you know, our channels aren't just true crime. Got a lot of entertainment in Brenda's channel, which I love. And she's going to be more moving forward with some very interesting stuff too. But the Median hiders have been discussed and going live on mine. So that could be interesting. I'm showing my complete. I am camera shy now. I do not like being on camera, but I'm trying to face my fears and overcome them.
You're so brave. I prepared to be on camera tonight. I did my hair. No, I didn't do my hair. No one should ever expect that I will come in here with a fancy hairdo.
I have no hair, so I'm easy. It's like, yeah, I'm easy. There you are. Yeah, this is us, guys. So what do you have for us, Brenda? Let me see what you got here. I'll add that up to the stage and we'll get on with it now. I know everybody's probably sick about hearing about us. So
DJ, I do not do my hair. Love it.
I don't either. I just kind of.
Wash and wear.
Yeah. All right. Screen.
Yeah, so I brought this up. Juice played it last night. Well, he went live at like 4 a.m. my time. So I saw it later, and then I was like, this song he plays at the beginning is quite perfect. I feel like to talk about the court dates for a little bit. So we'll play this. Just so you know, we got it from the Juice. Justice for the Juice, justice for Alex. They definitely should drop all charges. Should start any second.
You don't know what an AI working.
I'm sorry, everybody. Please hold.
management platform is?
Get y'all all excited, and then for what?
Story, same old talk. If your skin says you don't belong, they can make a wrong look strong. But the fences don't define us, and the fear they feel will blind us. Every face they try to hide still stands right here tonight. Keep us out, keep us out.
Keep us out.
We know what that is about. Keep us out, keep us out. Keep us out, keep us out.
Keep us out.
Your fear won't right the route. Keep us out, keep us out. We won't bow down, 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 down. Names get tossed like stones from a driveway built on loans. They pointed brown hands first, then pretend they don't rehearse. But the steps on every street carry more than whitewashed dreams. We belong where we stand. No permission in our hands. And the silence won't protect you. When the pattern keeps on showing, every wall they build in pride makes the truth come back alive. Keep us out, keep us out.
Keep us out.
We know what that is about. Keep us out, keep us out. We won't bow down, 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 down. Keep us out, keep us out.
Keep us out.
Your fear won't right the route. Keep us out, keep us out. We won't bow down, 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 down. Let it crack, let it show. Every lie they try to grow, one by one, the voices rise till the whole thing can't disguise. Keep us out, keep us out.
Keep us out.
We know what that is about. Keep us out, keep us out. We won't bow down, 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 down. Keep us out, keep us out.
Keep us out.
Your fear won't right the route. Keep us out, keep us out. We won't bow down, 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 down.
What it do?
That was pretty good.
Oh yeah, right? Like I thought that was very fitting for you know, what they're trying to do to the streamers. I was like, yeah, juice.
It is not easy to make songs. We look at so many different ways to do it. What was that one single? And it's not easy. It's up to 8 in the morning there the other day trying to do that.
Oh,
I haven't
okay.
even tried to
Well.
put one together. Oops, sorry.
Oh, it's okay. You go.
I haven't even tried. To... Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Hiders.
I said I haven't even tried to put a song together. There's a lot of apps, though.
Yeah, I've seen some great ones put together, but yeah, that's definitely, I never took music class, so I'm not even going to even dip my toe in that pool. I'll leave that for all the other creative people.
I have fun doing it. I'm like a kid.
Excellent. Then when my channel's bigger, Mystic, I'm coming to you for a song. So, this is just kind of like the definition of obstruction of a public thoroughfare, and I believe that is what Alex and Juice are now both still charged with, that their public nuisances were dropped. So an obstruction of a public... That's me.
You got it? Did we lose you, Brenda?
No, I'm here.
Brenda went quiet.
Oh,
She's on mute.
I'm still hearing the static, but I am charging up my earpods.
Yeah, sorry guys. My other windows just magically started turning on, and like 3 were playing all at once in my ears, and I was like, what's happening? So I'm back. Obstruction of a public thoroughfare occurs when an individual, vehicle, or object intentionally or recklessly blocks a public street, sidewalk, or highway, causing unreasonable inconvenience or hazard. Depending on your location and specific circumstances, it can be a municipal bylaw violation or a criminal offense, often resulting in fines or vehicle towing, right? Which is, doesn't feel like it has anything to do with the situations that the boys have been in my opinion.
Allegedly.
Always throw in the allegedlys, right, guys?
Right.
I mean, you know, I'm not saying anything that I love her guys. I really do. And I'm not saying anything, you know, like against them. But I could see the nuisance before I could see the, you know, the thoroughfare, the major thoroughfare obstruction and all that. It does kind of feel like they're picking on it, you know? What do you want to call it? They're exaggerating is what they're doing. Sick of what words, people? But yeah, it does. It feels like they're, you know, they're picking on it. They're coming up with the laws. You two are more into the laws than I am. But you two would know more than what I know. But it's like they're just exaggerating. I'm not saying they're committing crimes, but it's like they're exaggerating what they're doing to make it.
Right? Yeah, all the swatting, the fake calls coming in that's saying, like, oh, they're in the middle of the road. Oh, they're throwing cactus. Oh, they're stopping traffic. Like, no, none of that. And they all have live streams. So I really feel like the obstruction charges are the easier charges for their defense lawyers to actually defend. They have proof on each one of their individual live streams that they weren't being in the road. They weren't obstructing traffic. They weren't trespassing. They weren't harassing the neighbors. The only neighbors they spoke to are the ones that came up to them. You know, like, we watched this on all the videos, and I'm sure that the lawyers and their teams of law clerks can piece together all this stuff and present it in a way that absolutely proves they didn't obstruct a public thoroughfare. I just don't even think it should get to that point. I think that Miss Laura Conover should dismiss all these charges like she did the public nuisance charges.
Do you think that's what they're going to do? I mean, what do you think is going to happen tomorrow with Alex?
I don't know. I would like to see the court docket. I don't know if anyone in our chat is familiar with getting on the Pima County court website to pull up if anything new has been filed Friday or today before his court date. That's what happened last time with Juice's court date. The Friday right before he had court on the next week, they filed an application to dismiss all charges. And I'm hoping that if we saw the court docket right now, that maybe, just maybe, there would be an application filed. We might not see exactly what it is, but we could tell that something's been filed and hope that. I can't remember what time. I know that they talked about it before, if it was like 1 p.m. his court or 9 a.m.
I don't know. He said last night he had court date, but he didn't say what time.
I think it is
Yeah.
9.
That's most courts start at 9. Like, they want you there to, even if you have to sit there all day, they still tell you
Right.
9 a.m.
So what do you
And
think?
it looks, oh,
Oh, it's just more.
You know what? I'll get the hang of this, ladies. I'm sorry. I'm kind of on my phone. I'm messing up here, and I'm sorry that I'm interrupting you as well.
No, it's not interrupting. If I just talk to talk, so if you've got something to say, interrupt me. Absolutely.
I was just going to say that DJ, it looks like DJ was checking on DJ Paddock. Is checking
That
on
would be amazing.
court case.
That would be amazing, DJ. Thank you.
Right? So it's a page said, in my opinion, neighbors and or others. Let me put this up because I can see.
Yeah, Paige, I agree. It's a lot of false accusations going on there, and whether it's trolls or the neighbors, they're both calling into the sheriffs and they're lying. We can see that they've exaggerated each call to make it seem like it's this big thing, like we're watching a stream, and sure, it seems like Alex's music is live, but if they were side by side on that road and you flipped to Juice's stream, you didn't hear Alex's music. So it really wasn't like boombox above his head, 80s movie loud. It was from a phone to a phone.
And that's how you know that those complaints are coming from people that are watching the stream.
I feel that 100%, yeah.
Because how else would we know? There's no way they can hear that from their houses. It sounds really loud to us, but
And Mystic, if you want to put up this next thing, I'll read it. It's different than the last one, I think. Yeah, so this is what constitutes an offense of obstruction of a public thoroughfare. So the physical encroachment, leaving construction debris, dumpsters, or displays on sidewalks or streets without a municipal permit. They didn't do any of those things, although construction debris really stood out to me, Sue Ellen. As to like, isn't that, I mean, it was rocks and cactus and dirt, but didn't the rocks come from construction? You know, digging up a pool or something back there? A vehicular blocking, parking on a crosswalk, blocking driveways, or leaving disabled, unlicensed vehicles on the roadway, or reckless interference, standing, sitting, or placing objects that force pedestrians or vehicles to take evasive action to avoid physical contact. And I'm sure that's the one that they're going to try and say they did. However, no one had to avoid them. Clearly, even yesterday, we saw them swerve at Sleuth, not like give space. And we all know, like, we've seen bicycling children on that same road. Like, are those same reckless drivers doing that to those children on bicycles? Definitely worries me some.
sorry, I'm multitasking.
Thank you, DJ, for the update.
Okay, so no easy application to dismiss his charges. I hope that when he gets to court tomorrow, I hope he brings a Juanita, or better yet, a defense lawyer. I'm sure Juanita will be there with him.
I have a question about the first one on this list, physical encroachment. So was there ever a municipal permit to put up that oh my goodness, the memorial, you know, around Nancy's driveway there?
I don't believe so. I think just people right away just started sending flowers that first week.
Yeah, I didn't think so also, but if that's what they're using, they'd have to use it on everybody. They'd have to seek out, you know, they couldn't just pick and choose who.
Right? Yeah, to say that, yeah, that these guys are responsible for the memorial when it's thousands of people across the world calling into
Correct.
flower shops and whatnot were responsible for the memorial. So therefore, doesn't that fall on the flower delivery guys?
I mean, it would fall on so many people, right?
Right?
Any New strength. Hello. Cajun. Hey. Phoenix. How are you doing? You know, I gave you a hard time the other night. I'm sorry. And yeah, the middle row. That'll be awesome. What else you got for us? I got the link up if anyone wants to come up and talk to us. Everyone's welcome up here, not just us. DJ used to come up.
Okay, this new one up is Arizona's. Oh, it's tiny. I'll go to my other one and read it to you guys. So it says, obstructing a highway or other public thoroughfare, classification, definition. So A, a person commits obstructing a highway or public thoroughfare if the person alone or with other persons does any of the following. 1, having no legal privilege to do so, recklessly interferes with the passage of any highway or public thoroughfare by creating an unreasonable inconvenience or hazard. I mean, I wouldn't say the boys have done any of that. They don't go in the road when cars are coming. 2, intentionally activates a pedestrian signal, so presses the crosswalk button, on a highway or public thoroughfare if the person's reason for activating the signal is not to cross the highway or public thoroughfare, but to do both of the following. A, stop the passage of traffic on the highway or public thoroughfare, and B, solicit a driver for donation or business. So none of those things happened either. 3, after receiving a verbal warning to desist, intentionally interferes with passage on a highway or other public thoroughfare or entrance into a public forum that results in preventing other persons from gaining access to a government meeting, a government hearing, or a political campaign event. So I would say that's more like a protest. B, obstructing a highway or other public thoroughfare under 1 subsection A, paragraph 3 of this section is a class 1 misdemeanor. Subsection A, paragraph 1 of this section is a class 2 misdemeanor, except that a second subsequent violation within a period of 24 months is a class 1 misdemeanor. I guess that's what they initially did to Alex and Juice. I'm not sure. Subsection A, paragraph 2 of this section is a class 3 misdemeanor, and C, for the purposes of this section, public forum has the same meaning prescribed. So, but I just think that means like a venue, something going on where people are protesting and don't want those people more people to come, like an election or something, and people are trying to block the way of people coming in, was what my understanding of that was. So I don't really know like which one of those they plan on using as their argument, but any defense lawyer should be able to come up with a good reason why none of that applies to the boys. In my opinion.
Yeah, it's you know, I don't know enough. I don't know enough about the law really to. I'm not going to say to state my opinion because I can state my opinion. And it's something that, you know, I agree with. In fact, you know, it's talk about selective enforcement. You know, inner strength put it. You know, right here, and that's what it is. Selective enforcement.
Yeah, this next one that I brought up is a little snippet that JLR posted about what happened to Sleuth yesterday.
News, sheriffs called to Nancy Guthrie's home again after a YouTuber got attacked by a driver of a vehicle who almost swerved into him while streaming out front of Nancy Guthrie's home. This is crazy, folks. Sleuth Intuition was out in front of Nancy Guthrie's home and a vehicle flew by him and almost ran their vehicle into him, swerved into him, and it looks like on purpose. Then the sheriffs arrived to the scene, and I want to share what Sleuth said to the sheriffs. This is coming from Sleuth Intuition. He was live streaming yesterday, Friday evening, actually Saturday. It was Saturday. And today is Sunday. I want to share with you this vehicle swerving into him, and then the sheriffs responding to the scene. Check it out.
What, is there a tripod out here? Somebody leave their tripod? I don't see a tripod. That lady just fucking swerved at me. Tried to fucking hit me. You see that? That fucking tried to hit me, dude. That shit's not cool. Look, you got this whole road right here and they fucking swerved like a foot in front of me. Next time somebody does that, I'm fucking calling the cops.
You can tell how upset he was because he doesn't usually swear like that.
Can't believe they just fucking did that. Like, what's wrong with people? Like, what if they accidentally, like, hit me or I fell forward or something? There's something wrong with this fucking neighborhood. I'm not quite sure what it is yet. I'm not quite sure what it is. We got the sheriff. Don't know why. We got the sheriff over here. What's up? Good, you?
You good today?
Can I help you?
Well, we just saw you got hit by a car.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah, that's all I was asking.
I don't need any help. Nope.
Just making sure you're
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Dad?
So it doesn't look like what is going on right now is what we got the report for. We just want to make sure everybody's safe here off the roadway. We got a report that you were standing in the middle of the road.
I mean, I've crossed the road a couple times.
Yeah, and you know, you can cross the road just like anybody else does, but
Yeah.
the issue is if there was somebody in the middle of the road. And I understand that somebody...
You guys come out to those kind of calls?
Yeah, we do. But I'm also coming to see about you. We did hear about a vehicle driving by quick. If you'd like to discuss it.
No, I have no issues.
Okay. Well, just make sure that you stay out
I
of
don't
the
need
way.
any. You guys don't need to tell me anything.
Well, I'm just letting you know.
I don't need
Documenting.
I don't need anything from you.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
If you're from Canada and you have over $10,000 of debt,
I mean, that was basically what I wanted to show that video anyway. Rude commercial interrupting us. Sleuth, I don't need anything from you. Like, I was so worried. I was trying to get ready to leave to go to the concert, and at the same time, all this is happening, and I was like, no, not again, no. It's freaking out, but
I was too.
right?
Yeah, I went because when I saw him there, I was like, oh no, I didn't even see him there. Somebody told me. I was like, oh no. So I jumped in, and I think it was right around the time of the accident or something. But he definitely handled himself. I mean,
Absolutely. I mean, it was months ago, like probably right when Juanita got her parking ticket, that he was talking about, you know, how they're harassing the streamers and how he was going to go talk to a civil attorney on his own in Phoenix. And he had even said at that point that he was tempted to just come out and get arrested before anyone else got arrested. But then they started really arresting people. So I was wondering, like at that point, was he trying to, you know, like poke the beast? He was prepared. He knew what he was doing. He was confident that he wasn't doing anything wrong, and I guess showed his disdain. Although I don't know that I would have been as. I don't need anything from you, but it was great because it expresses exactly how people have no trust in the sheriff's department right now.
right, and they weren't being mean to him, but I mean, in all reality, they weren't being mean to Alex.
Yeah, like,
and
do you want to talk about it? Could have turned into getting him in trouble.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna try joining on my phone, see if it sounds better, and maybe off camera.
Okay, I'm gonna pull up another video here. It is not about the charges though. So does anybody else have anything? I'm just checking chat to see if they wanted to say anything else about charges. Does anyone want to call in about charges? We can post the StreamYard link again.
Really?
Oh, did anybody catch Mark the Shark, what he was saying last night on whatever show he was on that I was watching? I watch every show. So he had called into one. I'm not sure if it was Patriot Pride. And hang on, my things are going crazy again. Sorry, I'm back. So yeah, Mark the Shark had said he secretly put flowers at Nancy's house and didn't tell anybody. And he secretly put an air tag in those flowers and didn't tell anybody after DGL did this because he wanted to follow in real time. So he laid them there and then just watched his phone and watched the air tag. And the air tag eventually started moving, and it moved up the hill across from Nancy's house. Right?
I didn't see that. Wow. That lady was interesting. A lot of the neighborhood has this, like, not to, you know, I hate to judge people, but it almost seems like there's an cult in the neighborhood.
Seen an escape vehicle leaving that neighborhood.
We might have
There's
to
no
watch this
footage
one
whatsoever.
twice, 'cause
We
it
know there's
started
cameras
already in
around
my
that
ear.
neighborhood. Almost every other neighbor has some sort of ring nest camera going outside that neighborhood in the Catalina foothills. There are cameras at every single intersection. So it begs the question, buried with nature, septic tank, put down in the septic tank on a property. Your property has 2 septic tanks. Have they been thoroughly checked, looked at, evaluated? We saw them come back about a week after Nancy Guthrie was reported missing. poking around in the septic tank. Nothing. But I think they should go back. Buried with Nature might have some merit. Nature's calling. Septic tank. We're covering Nancy Guthrie's case 24/7, 365. We're not going away. We are Nancy's army. What in the world happened to Nancy Guthrie? No evidence that I've seen that she was taken out of her home and taken out of that Catalina Foothills neighborhood. Makes me believe she is still around her house or in that neighborhood. Let me know what you think. I am JLR Investigates. This is a septic tank in my neighborhood. I don't believe she's here, but I use this as a backdrop because it is a septic tank, and I believe that she could be in the septic tank. This is actually sewage, public sewage. Each of the residents around there have a septic tank, but you get the point. We'll talk soon. JLR Investigates. Stay tuned. JLR Investigates. Where is Nancy Guthrie? We've been covering the Nancy Guthrie case 24/7, 365 since this terror.
That's interesting. What do you guys think about that? Because I think it's a huge possibility.
I mean, it's definitely
terrible tragedy happens. February 1st, 2026, Camino Escalante. 5.
I always think about that possibility.
Yeah, I mean, the ground in Arizona is hard, so I don't see anybody just going up, digging a hole and putting her in it, and it seems like, okay, so if they didn't bury her, this is saying if she is gone, and that is my opinion, that's my gut feeling, she is gone, and has been from the get-go, but what did they do with her, because I doubt they buried her, I doubt they left her in the open, we'd have found her. I wonder about those septic tanks.
Yeah, I mean, it's a spot that they checked that reservoir water tank for a good reason. They didn't just drain it and then stick those sticks down there for nothing. But then, yeah, since we've seen the plans that there is at least one more tank on like the drawing of her property, the old tank. And then when you look at the like building code, there should be possibly maybe another tank somewhere, maybe for the casita or something. To reach the amount that a house that has, I think it's 3 bedrooms or 4 bedrooms should have.
Right. And we only saw them probe the one.
And I saw somewhere that wasn't even Nancy's. They probed that it was a neighbor's because there was a rounded brick wall beside it in the video. And that's not Nancy's wall.
Huh, I never caught that before. That's definitely something to go back and look at.
So, yeah, maybe we got some homework on that. Who knows? Like, I don't want to go back to, you can hear me? I'm on my phone now. Maybe that's...
Yeah, I can hear you.
Better. Yeah, so much better.
So much. Yeah, it's wonderful now.
Great. So, not to go back to last week, but... Last week, we ended up down a rabbit hole and we found a gentleman, the tall chef, Leonardo Cioni, however you want to say the last name. I want to talk a little bit about that because, we did that last week and I've been following Libby Six. I know a lot of you have heard of her. I've been following her on X. And I'll be darned if I didn't find where she had found this guy a while back. So we did not break the news on that. I want to, we took a deep dive. Don't know where that's going to go because I don't know what to think about that. But I'd like everybody in the chat to feel, let us know. Do you think it's related to him or do you think it was just another direction we went in? I'm curious to know what everybody thinks about that because it's definitely got some coverage. But I wanted to also, just let everybody know that, yeah, Libby Six did come up with that. She did find that a while ago that I just noticed. So definitely want to give her credit for that. It wasn't
I thought we had, we found this treasure. No, it was already found. But what do you guys think about that? Do you still think that could be related if it even is his brother, which I would almost
I mean,
guarantee.
right, the look of him, his cheekbones, his eyes, his nose, it was kind of like every time we looked at the porch perp early on in the case and said, no, Tommaso's too old, but damn, it looks like him, that this is like, whoa, there's that younger picture of Tommaso we were all staring at and thinking, like it matched up more. I would absolutely say it has to be a cousin or a brother. Like, it looks so much like a brother. If they're not brothers, I would be very shocked. Whether it has anything to do with this case or not, I'm not sure. Shout out to Libby6 for sure. But it definitely was jaw dropping. It at least has to be considered.
Right. I found it really interesting. I think that it's just that. Like, ooh, there's a person we didn't know exist related to the family. And I think the shock of it all just kind of got my attention and made me, a lot of us are paranoid in this case. Like, everybody's suspicious to us. So, not blaming him, but it was very interesting to see what he, that he existed and what he looked like. Fighters, have you been following that?
I have, yes. And I agree with Brenda on that. I definitely think that that's, I mean, can I prove it? No. So allegedly, a familial connection. However, what connection it is to the case, I don't know. I mean, my mind has always been set on, and still is, this is an inside hit. This is not a random hit to me. It is an inside hit, close circle, and I've even expanded that close circle out to one more. Of course, there's a big possibility, if they weren't involved, they at least might know. But
right.
I don't think any of us, it's allegedly, as Brenda said. I mean, I'm not going to say for sure this, for sure that, certainly not publicly. But I have clear thoughts, of course.
Right.
Right. I think it definitely, like, after the fact, I was watching something else, me and my old true crime, that a sister had used a sister's passport to go and commit this crime. And then she thought she'd get away with it, yada, 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 which has nothing to do with this case. But then I thought, geez, remember right at the very start of this case when all the rumors were circulating that T had flown to the Olympics. He had gone to Italy for the Olympics. And we were all like, did he, didn't he, did he, didn't he, did he? It was such confusion. And I thought, well, maybe that rumor wasn't just all speculation. Maybe could it have come from somewhere? Could it have been that a different Sione was at the airport flying to Italy out of Tucson? Could it be a Sione that looked a lot like Tommaso, and therefore, how rumors and the telephone game gets started? It's a possibility in an alleged, in my opinion, world.
Right.
Right. And it's a great possibility, that should be factored in. I mean, we just don't.
And that's
know
what we're
that.
doing. We're just looking at all the different angles and all the different things that come up, and we're looking at it, and we touch on it and we talk about it. And it don't mean that we think that it's, part of the case. It could be. But,
Right,
it's just something else to look at. And I don't know.
Right, something we came across.
Over this
something that
past
makes us
week,
say-
I don't think he's involved. I'm just right back to where I was. I don't know why, but I just keep going right back to Annie and Tommaso. That doesn't mean that, him or anybody else in his family is involved. It's just something I can't shake, and I don't know why. I couldn't even explain it. to be honest. Or just go right back to it. But then you got little things that come up like the shooting. There was a shooting in Tucson and downtown, and there's a lot of bad people. It's like that everywhere, but there's a lot of bad people in that area. I believe 857 had a map up of crime rates, and they were color coded or something, and there's a lot of crime close to Nancy's. Could it have been something like that and somebody we've never even looked at or suspected? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, right? Like there's so many different possibilities that we can't focus just on one. We need to stay open to all of them and kind of follow them along and see what clues match them, and hopefully we get some piece of information that can eliminate a theory. Unfortunately, in this case, there hasn't been many theories we can eliminate.
Right. And if we could just get that one, that we don't have to say allegedly after, it'd be fantastic. It really would.
It would. And one thing that my mind keeps going to, but first, before I get started, I want to say hey to Straightliner. I'm not in chat right now typing, but I wanted to say hello and good to see you. And I wanted to say hey to TC, good to see you too, and everyone in chat. But one thing that my mind keeps going to, especially with this latest incident in Tucson, we can watch the different agencies and how they respond, and it's such a contrast, right? And I still agree, and I still believe those that live in Tucson that, yeah, it's messed up. It really is. But I saw a huge contrast in how Tucson PD reacts and maintains a criminal scene, a crime scene, and how Pima County has handled NG's case. And
Okay, that's interesting.
if we look at that as a gauge, I think we just need to keep honing in on the lack of agency, the lack of everything. And I know a lot of people agree. We've heard many streamers talk about this. And it points to one person pretty much, the sheriff. And so if we keep going back to that's what needs to be honed in on, because if we had an agency like Tucson PD on this, maybe it would not have been perfect, I'm sure, they're human too. But we would have seen, I believe, my personal opinion, we would have seen way more progress. If not, we would have found Nancy.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely ridiculous that they aren't working a joint task force with the Tucson PD. Like literally, it's Pima County up to one road, and you cross that road and it's Tucson police. And the fact that they're not, you can walk from Pima to Tucson, like the fact that they're not working together and not using those resources, just like Texas EquiSearch, just like the Cajun Navy. He's not using all available resources.
No.
So here's the thing, and it made me think, Hiders, when you started talking just now, we listen to the scanner a lot. Okay, and we hear, and I know a lot of people in chat do too, we hear how they handle situations. There was a situation last night, and I don't know the whole story, but SWAT was out near, what was it, Country Club in Prince. Something big was going on. And I think it was about 11 miles from there. There was another big thing. There was a barricaded subject or something. And, it really sounds like they got their stuff together. When we listen to the scanner and they're after these bad guys, it really sounds like they got their stuff together. They're doing it right. They're setting up the perimeters and everything. And it's how can you guys know the law more than me? Isn't the sheriff's office a bigger deal than a police department? Like, aren't they more
Well, a
I
police
don't know.
department is more localized, and the sheriff is county, so covers the entire county. And I would think, I mean, I've seen many law enforcement agencies, local or county, that I have never seen them operate like Pima. And if we go back to the sheriff, I feel like he's a control freak. Because now, why does someone need to be a control freak? To cover their tracks. Usually, a person who tries to control and manipulate a group of people, it's transactional, right? It's what can they do to help me? And that's what I see from the sheriff in Pima. And so in other agencies, we're seeing leadership. So that's
what we're lacking. That's what we're lacking in Pima County.
Correct, because leadership is for the community. That's why, that's why officers sign the oath to serve. And I've heard Alex say this. They sign the oath to serve the community, not to control or intimidate. That's not what officers sign the oath to do. In the county agencies, sheriff's deputies are deputized and sign that oath for the same reason. It's about keeping the community in check and safe, but we're there to serve. We're not there to, do what I just mentioned. And I think that's what a lot of us are seeing Pima County as. But it kind of points back to that one person. I mean, you've got when you have good leadership, it trickles down. When you have bad leadership, it trickles down. So,
right. I think hearing from Aaron Cross early on, it gave us a taste of what they've been going through, the poor deputies and sergeants under his command. And even if the investigators for Nancy are bringing forward, hey, we really want to look into this, and then Nano says, no, that's a waste of time, just like every other clue we've heard about in this case. No, that has nothing to do with Nancy. No. Then what are they supposed to do? They're not allowed to investigate that lead anymore.
Right. And what do you guys think about the word that's out about Nanos? I believe it was his first or second interview where he slipped and said he was at their house. He was at Annie and Tommaso's the night before.
Right. I guess that also adds up.
Catch that video or hear that video, because I can't find it.
I think it was like one of his first press conferences. I don't know if it was the one on the street or if it was the first one that he did from like February 2nd in the morning-ish or noon, whenever he held that press conference. But yeah, he did. He slipped up and he said Saturday. But then also it's been published. We looked at them, I don't know if it was last week, the silver alerts. Someone had put those up, and they both said January 31st. One said at like 6 p.m. January 31st. So was that would have been when she got out of the Uber?
Was that right? Was that Saturday, Friday, or Saturday?
Saturday the 31st, and then Sunday was the first when she was reported missing. But he was at that press conference, like Mystic just said, and said, yeah, we were out there Saturday. And I'm sure he meant Sunday, or that's what we all think. But it's a little funny now to see those silver alerts put out.
I believe him when he says he was there Saturday, whether it was a slip of the tongue or not. And the reason why is because, well, I don't trust him. and we've caught him in multiple lies. And, so me personally, my opinion is I believe he was out there Saturday. When I heard that immediately, that was my gut.
Right. Same here. And there was also talk that law enforcement was called out to Nancy's house. And I believe it was on Saturday. And that has been, I can't remember where that went. And that seems to me why there's such a mix up in when that alert came out, because it's saying that she was reported missing on Saturday. And
Right,
then it
these are
goes back to
official.
she was reported missing on Sunday.
We're,
And I
we're
think
supposed to
that's
take
why
the
it's
sheriff's
happening.
word, right?
Yeah, I think they're getting the two calls mixed up. But what was that call? Why was law enforcement out at Nancy's house on Saturday? Because we can't find that either. I went back and listened to the scanner for that day. I can't find nothing. Or is it a rumor? There's so much going around. But just
Yeah,
trying to
things
go
need
back
to
on
be
what he said.
right.
Could that
If
be
they
what
did
he
more
was
press
talking about?
conferences, it's definitely suspicious.
Because
So
maybe
Pima
he
County,
wasn't saying that he was at Annie and Tommaso's. Maybe he was saying he was at Nancy's on Saturday for this call that nobody knows what it was about. You know what I mean?
hmm So I think I looked into it before. Pima County does not have call logs in addition to, well, of course, they've integrated the system or unintegrated the system. So now we don't hear everything, but at the time, we could still hear everything. But I don't think, in addition to the scanner, I don't think Pima County has a call log, do they?
That's a great point. That before, when Nancy was abducted, we were on a different scanner system, and now that they switched over, isn't that convenient that we can't access those things from that timeline now?
Correct, but I don't think there is a call log that is available through Pima County because I did check. Because here, where I'm at, I can listen to the scanner, I can immediately go to Orange County and I can look at the call logs as they're happening. Or I can choose the crime map view or do the list, which is all of the current calls coming in.
Right. Same here. Our scanner here in my county has been encrypted, but we still have the call logs, the consolidated dispatch.
Right.
Called the CDA, the consolidated dispatch activity.
Mm-hmm.
The whole log of the calls. That's about a half hour behind or so, but you can still go in and see all the calls and what zone they're in. And I haven't been able to find that either for Pima County, so.
No, because I don't think
Maybe-
it exists.
Right, yeah, I don't think it's a thing there. Which doesn't surprise me. It's like that county has a lot to hide.
Yeah, just like the body cam footage when Juanita FOIA'd it, right?
Right.
So
There's
what-
just, that's another thing with good leadership, positive leadership, healthy leadership, is there's a load of transparency and so that's another red flag with this agency.
Absolutely.
So many red flags. What is it? I wonder if the cartel maybe pays him to turn his head on things.
I wondered that because I read at some point months and months ago that they have a no chase policy in Pima County. So if the police are pursuing a vehicle, right, and they start to speed away, like in most cities have it where if you're in a school zone, a residential zone, they back off. They don't chase the suspect through like where there's lots of population. They try to like get them out of harm's way and then we'll pit maneuver them or whatever. But Pima County, I read, has a no chase policy unless the perps are shooting at the police. Can they pursue them? And that was my first thought, to be like, oh, what high up crime ring is paying him to turn his cheek, you know?
Very interesting, and I would be very interested in knowing when that policy was put in place. Was it changed at any point?
Like
So-
after he was voted in
Correct.
or elected in.
Because, you know, I do believe that California is headed that way. Because when they are in a pursuit and they get the call, they tend to back off quickly. But here in Florida,
Nope, not here.
nope.
Yeah, here they just have it in like residential areas, school zones, if there's a lot of people on the street, right? But yeah, otherwise there's no chase policy.
See, here we have deputies on motorcycles and we have deputies on bikes, and they'll continue the pursuit that way if they have to.
Oh, amazing, right? And yeah, there's always like eye in the sky type of following too, right? Like
Correct.
we always say the police chase, but
Definitely.
other ways to do it other than a no chase policy. Maybe I can find that again and bring it up next Monday.
Yeah, I would love to know the date that was put in place.
Yeah, that would be
that'd
very
interesting,
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, was that a long-standing policy or just something new for nanos?
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh,
So, do you guys feel that Nanos is involved or he's trying to keep it quiet? Or do you think that, they're really working and they got something and they're just trying to, gather all they can for a prosecution?
in my personal opinion, from day one, yes. I have day one thought he was involved, and nothing has changed in my mind. Now, how he's involved exactly or how much, I of course don't know.
Right, right.
I mean, I don't know for certain the other way either that he is, but usually when something is that strong in me and it does not waver or change, I just have a knowing,
Exactly.
That again, that is my personal opinion. I want to stress that.
Right,
Yeah,
like not
but-
saying he's directly involved, but he has that. He puts the way he puts it out there is like he acts like he's got something to hide as far as this case goes. Like he acts more like he is a suspect than he does a sheriff. He spends more time defending himself than he does, letting us.
Correct.
Well,
And
I
he's
think-
very careful who he speaks to, who he allows to question him. He's very, very careful. And again, that's what I meant by transactional. He has
Right.
extremely transactional relationships. Someone who's not hiding things or being dishonest, they can just walk out of a building and just carry a conversation with a citizen and be honest about things. And again, we know that not everything can be told, but he, it there's that saying, you don't have to remember much if you're being honest.
Right.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, and I mean now he has the sheriff's office so locked up that you have to buzz and book an appointment. A citizen can't even walk in there to have a complaint, or if they just had a bad interaction with road rage, or a poor woman is being followed, she can't even just go to the sheriff's office and walk in for protection. Like why you have your doors so closed up? even Brian Nenton had interviews with Nanos in the beginning and then expressed that he'd be like, I don't know why they're not answering my emails or sending me daily updates anymore. You know, decided they didn't like a question that he asked and then decided he wasn't one they were talking to anymore.
I was talking on mute. Wow. But yeah,
That happens to me.
there's so many red flags. It's not even funny. He does more hiding than he does anything. You know, how is that good for a community?
Not good.
It's, you know, I would not feel safe in that county.
Mm-mm. And many citizens don't. You know, we hear that every day. And, you know, the ones that are speaking out, the ones that truly want Nancy found are the ones that are being stopped. And hopefully, you know, with Sleuth, maybe that is I'm not sure because my mind goes kind of back and forth. Maybe that is the beginning of, you know, they have to change now because of how aggressive they were with the other streamers. But then the other part of me says, well, maybe I wonder what would have happened if the other streamers were back out there.
Right? Like if it was Alex and not Sleuth that they pulled up on. Like you have to wonder, did the report come in that Sleuth was out there and they rushed there thinking, oh, we got Alex again. Who knows, right? Like,
right? Or Juice, or, you know, we shouldn't have to think that way.
Right.
And
We should have trust
especially
in them, but
times 1,000, Tucson and the county residents should not have to think that way. The streamers, you know, especially them that live out there, they should not have to think that way. They should not be afraid or have to feel afraid to speak up for an 84-year-old woman that we have not seen in 170 days.
Amen.
Yes, amen. And I believe in power in numbers. I think that more people, but people are afraid. Even the regular citizens, I do believe, in my opinion, that they're afraid. You know, because why isn't this bigger?
Right. I find it very funny that you see all the streamers that have now like been harassed, been charged, been detained, including just that email to Righteous Monkey about searching or this interaction with Sleuth. But Tucson, Alex, Juice, Righteous Monkey, Juanita, and Sleuth are all residents of Arizona. They didn't target any of the streamers outside of Arizona, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And why don't they want them involved? Why are they turning down the Cajun Navy? You know, I mean, I hate comparing, but here we have search parties. You know, baby JJ was a missing 3-year-old in my county some years back, and yeah, our sheriff didn't want just anybody out there. He wanted to make sure that, you know, you're not some sicko looking for a 3-year-old. So, you know, he's no Grady Judd, but he made sure that you weren't some psychopath or sicko. He did screen everybody, and then he just let them go, and he let them search. And it was a searcher that found JJ, and he was okay too, by the way.
Oh, amazing.
But it was, you know, that's how you do things. I just think he's got something to hide. He has to.
Yeah,
because he wants people afraid to get involved. He don't want people involved.
I mean, we have a lot of situations that go on out here, and community is welcome to come help. Now, you know, there are deputies that are put in place to kind of keep things organized usually, like you said. Whether they screen or they don't screen, or, you know, however they do it. But they do allow the community to help. And, you know, I have a hard time thinking he's not involved at this point. I wanted to not think that, but I've said this a long time ago that I believe wholeheartedly, in my opinion, that he is.
Right? He's got, it's just, I think a lot of people have that feeling. I want to say something to Cheese, Wine, and a Suitcase. You don't have to be a mod to be in here. It's just where mods get together, and even just, hey, the guys in the chat can come up here and join us on panel too. So this is strictly where you get to talk to the mods and instead of the
mods
streamers.
take over the channel.
Yeah, we're just gonna take over Nick's channel because he's a busy guy, and
Thanks,
so the
Nick.
mods just take over, and you guys are all welcome up here. And I wanted to say hi to Terry. Long time no see, buddy. But yeah, the sheriff is definitely not a leader like he should be, and excuse my language, but the county's going to shit, and it's a beautiful place. It's really sad, and there's beautiful people that are unfortunately, most likely, in my opinion, going to become victim, and he's not going to be there for them.
Yeah, it's scary times for sure.
It is. So do you have anything else for us to bring up, Brenda?
Yeah, I have so much. I got another little rabbit hole that I started going down. It kind of was triggered by this next little short that I have loaded up here to go, if you want to share that to screen.
All right, let me find it. It's so different doing this on my phone. I'm afraid I'm going to kick somebody out. Add to stage. All right, there we go.
Now, this is from Big City Crime.
Oh, my favorite.
Yeah, okay. I'm not familiar. I saw Maureen, and I thought if Maureen is on this show, then these must be great people.
Yeah, so Dan is in the top right-hand corner. He has 33 years. He's retired. He was a detective and then went into homicide in, I want to say, Chicago. Now, the top left, I have to remember the details on him, but they're wonderful. They're all wonderful. The bottom right, he's a guest that night on their video.
Yeah, it's the top right guy that talks the most. So yeah, that's the guy that you just said. Dan, you said?
Yep, Big City Dan, yep.
Amazing. Yeah, okay, well, go ahead and play this.
Over the years, there have been a number of cases involving missing elderly women in Arizona. While every case is unique and should be investigated on its own facts, some people have noticed certain similarities between these disappearances and have begun asking whether there could be a larger connection. Are these cases simply tragic coincidences? Are there common factors that investigators should be looking at more closely? Could there be an organized group, a cult-like influence, or some other explanation hiding in plain sight? Or are we seeing patterns where none actually exist? As experienced investigators, we've learned that it's important to keep an open mind while staying grounded in evidence. History has shown us that sometimes seemingly unrelated cases turn out to be connected. Investigation. Over the years,
So I thought that was kind of interesting. Just like it kind of triggered this old serial killer kind of theory that I had bouncing around before. And not that there is a serial, K-word happening, obviously, because we never saw a repeat offense. The full moon came the next month, nothing. Another full moon, nothing. Another full moon, nothing. And that theory kind of like drifted away for me. However, I've always kind of held on to like a imitation. You know how some, like if you watch TV, like Criminal Minds type of thing, that there might be a psycho out there that imitates other previous psychos and the way that they did things, right? And with especially learning that the primetime guy did people on Nancy Street in Aldean's house. She said it, that she bought that house and there was a victim of the primetime killer in there. So it made me definitely go down a little rabbit hole of old cases. Um,
Right.
I woke up this morning to a thing about the Night Stalker, and I sort of looked into that, and found out that actually the Night Stalker, who was in California for his crimes, but actually was in Tucson right before he got arrested. So
Oh,
there
wow.
you go. That up. Right? Just I'll bring up that part if you want to share that screen, Mystic.
Yeah. But everybody, while we're doing this, hey, check out Big City Crime. That was Dan. And very interesting.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I have the full episode. I haven't had a moment to watch it yet, but I'm going back and I'm gonna click subscribe. And I was just like, any friend of Maureen is a friend of mine.
Right? And I would post a link for everyone, but I'm afraid I will kick us all out of StreamYard. If you were here last week, I did it then. I will do it again if I even attempt to post that link. So, but check it out, Big City Crime.
So this is Richard Ramirez. He is the Night Stalker. Not a good guy. Burglary, break-ins, usually taking place after dark. He, walked into people's houses and did awful things. More even weirdly, watching about him, his name being Richard, a very abusive father, and a cousin, not a brother, but a cousin named Mike, who he kind of blames. His cousin Mike unalived his girlfriend, I believe it was, right in front of him. And then Richard Ramirez here had a pattern of doing that exact same pew pew to the face that his cousin Mike did. And I was like, well, that's just weird, because we have recently all learned about another Richard with an abusive father and influencer Mike. So I thought that was, just another thing that makes you say, what the heck in this
I'm
case?
officially freaked out right now. That is,
I know
Right?
that is, yeah, pretty.
wow, there's some coincidences in there, guys. That is insane.
That is
Right.
insane. I wanted to say something real quick to you, Brenda, about, when you first started mentioning about the SKs, the
yes.
serial Ks. We all know, and we've heard, well, we've seen it, that in Nancy's case, I don't think anyone would have thought, especially anyone in the agency, would have thought that this would have blown up as it did. And it got coverage and traction quickly. But how many other crimes happened that mimicked this same crime that didn't get the traction, didn't get the publicity, because, a certain sheriff could control that. He couldn't control this because people picked up on this fast, and because of Nancy's children and, her daughter, and it just picked up fast all over the world.
Global coverage, right?
Right. But the average person that this would have happened to, maybe locally people knew about it, of course, but other than that, it didn't get the publicity. And so he didn't have to cover his tracks as much or lie or scramble,
Right. This could be bigger than just Nancy. This could uncover a whole lot of other unsolved crimes.
Right, which goes back to
and
why
it
wouldn't
could
he
still-
let them search the deserts,
Correct.
like to find all these other missing people. You might have a homicide rate of only 13 last year, but you certainly have a lot of missing cases that you don't know what happened to those people, right? And if you did know what happened, it might up your rates a whole lot, right?
Right. So in law enforcement, you know, there's always the saying that, and, you know, I want to be careful saying this because I know some people can change their lives around. However, if they haven't tried, then they continue the same crimes, even if they're, you know, no longer incarcerated. So you have somebody who's off the chains like Nanos, you know, and if a lot of us have a feeling that he's involved somehow, then does that mean he could be previously involved in other crimes that didn't get the traction that I just mentioned?
Exactly.
And, you know, so I think we see it as face value as we're talking about this day in, you know, daily. But maybe I don't even know if our minds can even fathom how deep this goes with Nanos.
And like I think Brenda was just kind of touching on, you know, sheriff's departments they always look at the crime rates. Oh, my crime rates are down. You know, is it better to have a missing person under your watch than a murder? So maybe that's why they stay missing. And the cases
I
don't get
think
solved.
he thinks, right, that it looks better on him as a sheriff. Like, look how low my murder rate is.
Maybe, but I think it's deeper than that. I
It
think
could
it's
be.
deeper than that
It
because
could be because he's a nut job, and that's a fact, not an
I
opinion.
mean, we can go back to El Paso with him. So we know for a fact he has a history of doing shady things, and it looks like his shady things escalate as he goes forward, in my opinion. So I think yes, he thinks about that, of course, but I think it's deeper than that with him. I mean, every agency thinks of that. Let's be honest about, you know.
Yeah, right. Yeah. When it comes especially to elections, right, with sheriffs more than with like police departments because they're
Correct.
elected, the people look like, oh, look at Nanos, our
But
murder rate
but
is so low.
not.
But
I've never seen it at the expense of a missing person, though, especially not of this magnitude.
right,
It's more that he has something to hide than, oh, look at my numbers.
That's my opinion.
Yeah,
Because he's,
that's what.
I mean, you know, you got to factor in his age too. He knows he's not going to be a sheriff into his 80s. You know, I guess it's possible, but I don't think so.
We hope not.
right.
But you know, so he knows that his career is waning down. So I just, me personally, I feel like it's deeper with Nanos than just the numbers.
Right, looking at his history and his age, you got a good point there.
Because think about Nanos's behavior. He could easily manipulate somebody into changing those numbers.
Well, that's true, right? Look at how we hear him yell at the assessor.
Right. So you know, someone like him, people are afraid. You know, I think people are afraid because some people know that you might come up missing. My opinion, folks, my opinion.
No,
Exactly,
but
though.
that's true, right? Even Nick and someone, JLR or Tucson, someone was just talking like right before when Alex was out at Nancy's, and right, just about the real fact that, you know, like it's scary now because you poke the sheriff, what's he going to do to retaliate?
Right.
Yeah, it's a fear in everyone.
Right? A real fear. So with this, I thought it was kind of interesting with the Ramirez here that just this part on August 30th, it was 1985, but he took a bus to Tucson, Arizona to visit his brother, unaware that he had become the lead story in virtually every major newspaper and television news program across California. So after failing to meet his brother due to his not being home, he returned back to LA. And then he basically got beat by a whole lot of citizens. They chased him down and held him until the police came to arrest him. It was quite a chase. But yeah, I thought, what are the chances that, like a ties to Tucson of all places?
Right.
Yeah.
And I want to say something to Suri. Thank you, Suri. Yes, Wills. It's Wills in the top left-hand corner of Big City Dan. Thank you.
Awesome. I'll be right back, guys. I gotta go do something real quick.
Okay.
Okay. Have a few seconds then. I think here when we went up, yeah. And look, and just another strange tie, but the Richard Ramirez was born in El Paso. Is that where you just said that Nanos worked?
Yeah.
Isn't that just another
that's where he got in trouble.
Coincidence, right?
That's
born
the
and
whole
raised
thing.
in El Paso, and then ended up where his brother now lives in Tucson, and then Nanos is in Tucson in the 80s.
It's
wasn't
crazy because that's where Nanos was put on the coals, was in El Paso, and here during this case is when it was uncovered that he was terrible. He pistol whipped somebody when they were handcuffed and, several other things. So, I mean, that it's just wild, that you bring up this article.
Yeah, more connections that are just, out there for sure. I was just like, what, for real? How are these connections? And I know it has nothing to do with this, but it's not the only psycho serial killer that has ties to Tucson.
Right.
Because I have more.
Okay, let's see. That's awesome. Thank you, Brenda.
But I was in a little bit of a rabbit hole, different than other rabbit holes, but when she comes back, I have a little Dr. Oz video here about him too.
Oh wow.
Okay,
But I love that info. Thank you so much for all of that.
That kind of freaks me out, guys.
Sorry, mistake.
What happened?
What are the odds of the Richard and the Michael and the? I don't know. That was weird.
Yeah, the abusive father, a Richard, and then blaming a Mike for being a bad influence on top of it was just like.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know how much of this we'll actually listen to, but we can play some of it whenever.
Ramirez, a satanic serial killer known as the Night Stalker. His capture brought an end to his 2-year crime spree that included torture, rape, murder, and it left at least 13 dead. Today, we go inside the mind of one of the country's notorious murderers, and we ask, what turned a Texas boy into a brutal killer? During a 2-year rampage, California and the nation was terrified and terrorized by a vicious
everyone.
Home invasion crime spree as the Night Stalker broke into homes, raping, torturing, murdering, and robbing his victims, leaving behind a gory path of destruction and satanic calling cards.
Officials in Los Angeles are offering a $10,000 reward leading to the capture of a sadistic killer wanted for a series of murders and rapes.
The killer would be later identified as Richard Ramirez, a former altar boy from El Paso, Texas. Ramirez was raised the youngest of 5 children in a violent, abusive home. He later fell under the influence of a sadistic older cousin, drugs, and Satanism. At age 22, he moved to California and on to murder. Ramirez preyed on the unsuspecting, men, women, and children, slipping through windows and doors and unleashing sickening violence. A one-man epidemic of unspeakable evil. The entire country was traumatized as the haphazard and horrific crime spree continued.
Lock your doors, lock your windows. If you have the ability to provide additional security devices, then by all means do so.
By the time Ramirez was linked to his brutal crimes and apprehended, he was believed to have murdered at least 13 people and ruined the lives of countless more. We're joined by correspondent Melissa Moore, who has a unique perspective on the case of Richard Ramirez. She spent years studying the minds of serial killers since learning her own father, Keith Jesperson, is the infamous Happy Face Killer. Melissa is also the host of Monster in My Family on Lifetime Movie Network. So you dug deep into the story of Richard Ramirez. How did the Night Stalkers case remind you of your own father, the Happy Face Killer?
Well, they're both narcissistic. Both of them played up for the camera. I studied in depth. I watched both Ramirez and my dad, and I saw so many similarities. One with Ramirez, he would play up for the camera. He was very charismatic. Not only that, but he invoked terror in the victims' families at the trial. He would make gestures towards them, and he would wink at some of the victims' family members. And then my own dad would do the same thing. He would make gestures. He made a joke about it. But really, when I study it, they're both doing the same thing. They're both trying to gain control over the victims' family members in the trial. So that's where they're similar.
So again, with Ramirez and perhaps with your father, you made the point that you're not born evil.
No.
So what is it that happens to a young person that makes them evil, that turns them to such a satanic figure as Ramirez?
Yeah, that's the number one question I ask myself, because being the daughter of a serial killer, nobody else wants answers more than me. So I have found that serial killers are not born that way. They're born into circumstances that create the perfect storm. They're traumatized in their home. They've been abused. They don't normally come from perfect homes.
As part of our investigation, Melissa spoke to Ramirez's sister-in-law and his cousin, and learned there were some defining moments that may have contributed to his descent into evil. So sad, tragic. This is horrible. So he's brought up in this environment. So what happens to someone like Ramirez when they actually personally kill for the first time?
Well, it becomes an addiction. And especially with what I've noticed with Ramirez's crimes, that he gets emboldened every time he gets away with it. So I noticed that in the series of his crime spree, he went from rape to murder. But not just murder, he started torturing people. And I mean, the crime scene photos were just gruesome. I can't get them out of my mind, what he did to his victims.
Do you guys want me to keep playing this or move on? It's up to you guys.
I mean, if there's anything good, you've seen it. Is there, like, does it go deeper, or did your point get across?
Yeah, I think my point has been made.
Okay.
I'm good either way. I like listening to it, so whatever you guys decide.
I mean, it's only about 5 more minutes, so I mean, we can continue watching it.
Yeah, let's watch it.
Okay. What's happening there? Oh, volume. Sorry.
This was another way for him to invoke fear in his victims and fear in the community. He grew up in a religious home, and he rebelled against that and started to worship Satan, worship the devil. And part of that was to invoke fear in the people around him. He noticed that people had a response to it, that they were terrified of this devil worshiping thing, that the pentagram, they didn't know what it was, and they were scared. And so he used that as a tool.
So coming up, what did Ramirez's family know? Plus, what was the big mistake that finally helped police catch him? The Night Stalker's dramatic capture is next. Richard Ramirez's first known murder took place in June of 1984. Police say he broke into people's homes at night, and normally he wore all black. So as part of his rampage, he robbed people. He took a fair amount of money, stuff. What happened to all that material that he stole?
I wonder the same thing as well. And what I did find out is that he would take the jewelry and he would send a lot of it back to his family in Texas. And some of it gave him this lifestyle that he was craving, which is more of like a celebrity lifestyle. He would show up in limousines to his family reunions. He really wanted that Hollywood, LA, celebrity lifestyle.
So as part of our investigation into Ramirez, Melissa spoke with the family members who assured her that they suspected nothing. They really had no idea at all.
No.
So it's a 2-year crime spree. There's terror throughout the country, especially in California. What took so long to catch this notorious killer?
Well, his crimes were really random. What I did study is that some of the victims were age 8 to all the way to 80. So there was no link really until they saw that there was a serial killer, until they put the ties together. And DNA wasn't really used at the time. Yeah. So they could just hope that he would make a mistake.
And he did. He eventually made a big mistake, and police were able to capture him after a chase that played out on television. Take a look. Ramirez was connected to several more crimes after his conviction because of the new DNA techniques that were available. Melissa, did he ever show remorse?
No, he was actually proud of his work. He was proud when the death toll went up. He has no remorse at all.
All right. So coming up, what happened to Richard Ramirez in prison? Plus, a man who survived being shot in the head by Ramirez speaks out for the very first time. That's next. We're back with Melissa Moore and her in-depth investigation into the Night Stalker serial killer. So Richard Ramirez was on death row for 24 years. What happened to him?
He died in prison of cancer.
He did. Lymphoma, I heard.
Yes. And that's not closure for most of his victims' families.
So he was gone. He left a lot of folks in pain. Melissa met with a man named Bill Carnes, who had been shot in the head by Ramirez. He was in an earlier piece that we showed, that one where he finally made the big mistake. But Bill Carnes survived. So what happened to Bill Carnes' girlfriend, Inez?
She survived, but unfortunately the relationship didn't. This really took a toll for both of them and the relationship. It shifted their relationship from caregiver. She had to take care of Bill to Bill needing her assistance on everything. Bill told me that she would go to the grocery store and then people would recognize her as one of the survivors. And she just wanted to escape from that. She didn't want to remember what happened that night. What's interesting about Bill too is that he keeps a lot of the things that he had back then. So when I saw pictures of his home, he still has the same bed where the attack happened. He still has photos hanging in the same places. I mean, he's trying to, because he has memory loss, he's trying to invoke memories. He wants to remember actually what happened so he can maybe have a little bit more closure.
He seems like he's in emotional pain. He hasn't been able to leave all that behind at all. So Melissa brought survivor Bill Carnes, who we just met, and Richard Ramirez's relatives together. Their meeting was very emotional. Take a look. Can't believe he asked, "Are you okay?" When he was the one who went through most of the suffering.
Yeah.
How would you describe the meeting?
Well, for Bill, he wanted to know if he was singled out by their loved one, by Ramirez. I mean, it's hard to say loved one because that's their family member, but this is why I do what I do, is because for me, when I went to the trial for my father, there were the victim's family members and then there's the perpetrator's family members, and we sit opposite of each other. And you never get a chance to interact or ask anything that you want to ask, or you feel as a perpetrator's family member, I feel intrusive. Like I want to leave them alone. They've already suffered enough from my family. Why should I go and intrude in their life? And so that's how I felt, but that's also how a lot of perpetrators' family members feel too. But for the victims, they see the perpetrator's family on the other side of the courtroom, and they have the same questions. They want to know, what did you know? Could you have prevented this? Do you feel any sense of remorse or guilt for what your family member did? Do you want to say you're sorry? Like, they don't normally hear from the perpetrator's family members that they're sorry. And so for me, that's why I created this show, is so that both sides could come together. One side could get their answers, one side could say they're sorry. And it always surprises me when we have meetings like the one we just had, where the victim or survivor says, I'm sorry.
Okay?
Yeah, are you okay?
Well, I worked there and it works many times. Thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you for. That was interesting.
Yeah,
Right? A little like into the mind of a madman type of, Hi, Nick.
Hey, boss.
Hello, Nick.
But it's the one thing that stuck out to me in that video and I'm not saying that we're dealing with an SK here at all. I don't feel like we are. I mean, but then again, who knows? But the thing that caught me was the making the mistake. This has turned out to be a pretty big thing. This has gone national. And do you think that maybe it's going to get to whoever did this or whoever knows about this, going to get to their head and they're going to slip up and make a mistake? And that's how they'll get caught?
Well, one thing's for certain is somebody who has to hide something like this most likely will slip up. Do we know when? No, we don't. Do we know
Especially if they have a
how?
big ego.
No, we don't. No, we don't. And what's interesting when you said what I thought of when I listened to this, and I know I don't think it's a serial K, but the first things that came to my mind was remember the words in this video was, she said, the celebrity lifestyle.
Right.
And
Right.
I'm not saying, when I say there's involvement, and I, in my opinion, there is involvement from a certain person, I don't necessarily mean, I don't know, but I don't necessarily mean, okay, this is the person who I feel did the direct thing, the direct deed. He could have been the person who ordered it, or whatever. But when I think of big ego, when I think of celebrity lifestyle, I mean, who comes to your mind? I'll ask you that, ladies. Who comes to your mind? Because I don't know many sheriffs. I don't know any sheriff that owns a new Corvette.
Yeah, and is consulting on a Desert Law television show.
Wait, was he in there?
Oh yeah, he was planning, right? I don't know.
Yeah, he was like a consultant. They talked to him and set up things, and then we're filming some certain things. He wasn't on the show, but he was a consultant of the show.
Oh.
And for some that could, be reaching, I don't know, but those are the things that I think of. And my mind hasn't, of course, pulled all of this together.
There is so much information. Even trying to make a timeline, I poured a lot of hours into the one I have, and I still wouldn't call it complete. There is so much more that is not in my timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's hard to get a timeline when we're going off what we're hearing. You can't even trust the sheriff to give us the right info.
Right, contradicting statements, like where you say this and then, oh no, it's not, the family drove her home. Who drove her home? Oh, it was, like just there. He never says the same thing twice unless it's white noise or his like rehearsed next question speeches about how hard they work and how great he does.
And even trying to look up the information, through the legal documents, they don't even have that right. Is she missing on the 31st or the 1st? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I don't know. I've never seen
we lost
such a mess. Oh, did we? But it's a mess.
I do have our next SK up here. Another Tucson one, Robert Lee Walden Jr., who attacked several women in Tucson, Arizona from 89 to 92.
Right, we got Hiders back.
I'm so sorry. I hit one button on my phone and poof, I'm gone.
That's the one button, right?
I hit that one button and I hit it and we're all gone.
No.
Well, thank you for the grace and understanding. I appreciate it.
I'm horrible, Hiders. Oh my God. I'll kick us
Yeah,
all
so
out.
I didn't look into much about him, but I wanted to add him in here because he's another one in the Tucson area. And it's the more you see how many actually have ties to Tucson, it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess this is a real theory. That, not saying that Tucson has a SK, but could someone be imitating these SKs from previous times? Or traveling throughout America and paying tribute to certain SKs throughout time?
So I just got a notification that there's an elderly woman missing in Tucson, I think.
Oh, geez.
From a Walmart. Yeah, it's happening now. Elderly woman reported missing from Walmart on North Cortero Road.
Wow.
From the crime radar.
Is there an age or anything?
It doesn't say. I'm sure it's on the scanner, but I don't have that up either. Yeah, it's the Crime Radar app. I actually have Nancy Guthrie's address put into there, and I guess any news that comes out, I'll get a notification on it. So I think there's a lot more missing elderly people that we know of out there. And I don't think, I know the majority is probably just walkaways. I get that.
Yeah, they do say, or I think it was said before, that like 90% of them or something. But at this point, do we trust that 90% is real, or that they just wanted to call it that?
Because I believe Nancy Guthrie was supposed to look like a walkaway.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And it just didn't work out that way. But I think that's how it's supposed to look.
Right. And then that's one of the first things that Nanos mentioned.
Exactly. Yeah, that doesn't...
If it wouldn't have blown up to the magnitude that it did to international levels, he may have gotten away with those kinds of statements.
And I think that's why he's against the YouTubers, because too much light was shined on this.
And it's keeping the case alive, right?
To
And
keep them
that he
happy.
would just wish it would go away.
Yeah.
But I'm glad. I'm glad. I would never want that stopped. I'm glad they're fighting back as well, in the best way that they can for their voices to be heard about it. But, it shouldn't be stopped. We are in the age of social media, and I mean, that happens. This is how we find out information more so now than ever.
Right.
Especially when all we have is the white noise. Thank God for the YouTubers and the streamers and the boots on the ground in this case.
Yeah. And I just think Nanos thought he had enough power and control to be able to stop them, and he's not going to be able to. It's not going to be able to.
No, I think he's...
It may look like
he's
it for a
outnumbered.
small amount of time, but no, he's not going to be able to.
No, I agree. So let's look at these SKs and the copycats. You got a lot of copycat killers. Do you think that what happened to Nancy and the attention that this case has gotten that there will be a copycat, or do you think this could have been a copycat? I feel like it was just a targeted thing.
Right? I mean, it's not a likely scenario, but it was one of my top, say, 3 or 4 in the very beginning. And then it dropped down to maybe like 7, 8, 9 on the list. But, just kind of like in this rabbit hole, it is still a possibility. Both ways that a copycat could copy this because it's not being handled properly. They could see it as a easy target or hunting ground. Or it could be a copycat of one of these, or an adaptation of, paying homage to one of them, however these psychopaths might think.
Right, and with the lack of leadership in the county, it's easy to get away with crimes there, apparently.
Right.
It very well could be.
The next one on my list is the prime time.
Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, so I have another one if you want to pull it up.
All right, let me get in there. I'm trying to be so careful not to kick everybody out of the freaking panel tonight. Last week
We're either
was
going to
so
talk about the
embarrassing.
prime time or end the stream. Let's go.
And I swear I was so embarrassed last week. It was like, oh my God, right at a bad time. I mean, we got Patriot Pride, Adam is on panel. And poof.
No one is on panel.
Oh my God. So yeah, I'm being very careful, but yeah, I got it up there.
You got it.
So I can actually, I think, press play on the article and it will read it to us.
Look at that headline, though. A serial
know.
who terrorized their street.
As the search for Nancy Guthrie continues well into its 4th month, residents of the Catalina Foothills neighborhood in Tucson, Arizona, are reminded of another high-profile case that rocked the community 40 years ago. In a new report from FOA News 4 Tucson, residents reflected on the case of a man the Pima County Sheriff's Department named the prime-time rapist, who terrorized women across Tucson from 1983 to 1986, burglarizing their homes and sexually assaulting them. According to FOA, the suspect was involved in over 30 home invasions and targeted more than 90 victims. Some of those homes were in the Catalina Foothills neighborhood, where Nancy, the 84-year-old mother of today's Savannah Guthrie, was allegedly abducted by a masked man in the early hours of February 1, 2026. It changed people's lifestyle because children were afraid to sleep in their own bedroom, former Pima County Sheriff Robbie Meyer told the outlet when speaking about the primetime rapist case. We ended up with over 4,000 leads. But he terrorized the community. Tucson became Fortress Tucson. Meyer was the man who eventually cracked the case after tracking down a drug dealer connected to the suspect. The Pima County Sheriff's Department was led to the home of Brian Lariva, who they say was responsible for the crimes. Lariva died by suicide before he could be arrested. Related, Nancy Guthrie update, sheriff shares harsh truth on how long solving case could take. Many residents don't like to talk about the case, which is now back in the spotlight amid Nancy's disappearance. We're getting attention for something bad again, one neighbor said. However, she noted how the community always finds a way to bounce back. We get closer with each tragedy. We are a close-knit community. Nothing or no case will ever change that. As the Nancy investigation has reached 100 days and counting, many have grown frustrated with the lack of updates. However, Meyer, who found Lariva after 5 months, urged people to have patience and let the detectives do their work. It takes a lot of diligence and willpower, he stated. Some guys I've chased for 18 months before I caught them. One guy was after for 5 years. But I think you have to be patient and don't get discouraged. If you or someone you know is the victim of sexual assault, contact the Rape, Abuse and Incest National Network's national helpline at 1-800-656-HOPE 4673. If you or a loved one is in immediate danger, call 911. More headlines. Ray Romano's jaw dropped.
I guess we don't need to hear about Ray Romano.
That's an excellent article, and I have read that before, but I don't think that is an article that ever gets old, Brenda, because it's good to be reminded. I mean, I forgot about it from what, reading it previously.
Right? Like it was talked about back when like Aldine brought it up that she had bought her house and found that out afterwards. But
Yeah.
You know
That's
how
just,
Nano says, "Be patient."
Right.
I think he's talking to himself. I think he's just trying to tell himself to be patient, and he wants it swept under the rug. He wants it to just go away.
Yeah. Be patient while I remove anything that is going to help solve this.
Exactly.
Right? And direct
Be
you away from
patient.
all good leads.
Be patient while I allow someone to keep living life while this 84-year-old
Right.
woman lost
To
hers.
terror, and
And
the possibility that there is someone out there terrorizing the streets and like we saw in the Richard Ramirez video, they're telling people, lock your doors, lock your windows. It's not safe. There is someone on the loose. But what did we get here? Streamers go away.
And that one part in the video, didn't they say they don't like to talk about it? Why?
Right? That it just brings us closer together. Every hardship just brings us closer together because we're such
But they
a
don't want to
tight-knit
talk
community.
about it.
no, they don't
Yeah.
want to talk about it. And I think the article mentioned yet again the Catalina foothills are shed in a bad light. Well, then let's stop hiding it and get it out in the
Right.
open. Start
gotta find-
helping search for this grandmother. Help.
Yeah,
She
what
was
do you
your
do when
neighbor.
something- It's broken. Fix it.
I mean, I could not sleep well at night if I knew this happened to my neighbor and I just went back to business as usual. Help.
Exactly.
Get the HOA and develop your own little search team. Help. No, they don't want to go against nanos. They know too much about nanos.
Like if you drop a glass, you drop your glass of milk on the floor or whatever, and you got glass everywhere, it's a mess. You can walk by and just stare at it and leave it.
Right.
It's dangerous. Like somebody's gonna freaking get cut. Weird analogy, but it's you clean up the mess, you fix the problem, you bring the safe. You make things safe.
Right. Ensure it's safe for every
And I just
resident
don't.
in that community.
Yeah, and I don't see that happening. I don't see anything happening to make anything better.
No, and shout out to Chris and Karen McDonough on the interview room because they are bringing it home. They are pounding it down. They are saying it like it is that Nanos is dangerous. He is dangerous. People need to get that in their heads. He is dangerous. I believe that.
I believe it too. And I missed that last episode. So I'm definitely going to go back and watch that. I didn't get to see it, but I heard it was great. So if anybody hasn't watched it, definitely go watch it. I will be going and rewatching it.
Yeah, it is excellent.
They bring out good stuff. I love their channel.
Yeah, and I really love the fact that they call it like it is,
Right.
They are trying to, let people know, he is dangerous. And, we're not talking about somebody who's never dealt with the communities as law enforcement because he has. And his wife, a previous reporter. So, they've seen corruption at its finest. They've seen dangerous law enforcement. They understand. And, I believe a lot of Tucson and Pima County know this, if not all of Tucson or all of Arizona. Who knows how far reaching it is. But there are people who know how dangerous he is.
And I believe
And-
those are facts too. And I don't think that those are opinions. I mean, it's been proven what kind of man he is.
Yeah.
Here's a fact we cannot say allegedly to.
Exactly. And I've been looking for that. And I
Found
found
one.
it. I found it in Nanos.
So if Nanos's agency department wants to hold anybody's previous criminal history against them in bringing forward charges for the streamers who are trying to keep Nancy out there so that we can find her, then how much more should we not hold his previous criminal history against him? We all know that he should be out of there right now.
Yeah, and if anybody's a nuisance, I swear.
And he should be held to a way higher standard.
Exactly.
The minute they found out that he was lying, I mean, what is going on with the DOJ? Why aren't we not seeing anything coming from the DOJ moving forward on his perjury?
Well, I believe it is because they are stuck in between a rock and a hard place. If they admit that Nanos does wrongdoing like that and file charges or suspend him or do anything but offer him a sweet early retirement package, I think it opens up that bag of worms for every real perp that's been put in jail, every dangerous offender, every single one of them, to file appeals with the court that the sheriff was corrupt and I want my case relooked at, even if they are the worst offender out there.
Well, at some point we got to clean the trash out of the trash can.
True. That's
but
true. I
here's
just think that,
yeah, well, that could possibly be it, or a person like Nanos, as I mentioned earlier, is very manipulative. These are the types of people that go around, in his case, he would go around to the different areas of Pima County, whether it be the court system or, et cetera, and get people, just dip their hand in. So that way they would be involved in some sort of way and he could hold that over him. I can see that because I could just see it by looking in his eyes that that's the type of person he is.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense. I can explain it again if it didn't make sense. But it's kind of like, a person who commits crimes, they have relationships, again, that are very transactional and it's only to benefit them. So everybody that comes in their path, pretty much, he finds a way to kind of string them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like a narcissist.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yep.
I could have just said that, but whatever.
I
went around the long way.
Well, there's a lot of people that don't know what narcissists really are, especially if they are one.
True, right?
Yeah, right. So,
although I once read that 80% of narcissists, they don't have to actually take the test to see if they're a narcissist. If you ask them, they already know and they answer yes, and then they take the test, and 80% of them self-identify and are correct.
Right.
Yeah, but very few are ever clinically diagnosed,
No, because they're better than that. They don't need no doctor to tell them.
Yeah. So, yeah, they don't need a doctor to put it into writing what they're afraid everybody will find out. They're trying to hide from everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But
yeah,
that sheriff's colors shine bright. It's really easy to see what type of person he is. With his ego and his bullying. I mean, what we talk about when we talk about him, they're facts. These are facts. What he did in the past. They're not opinions. So go by, if you go by what all the facts and all we know to be true about him, all the things he did, it's easy to see he's a dangerous man.
Right? Yeah, there's been a lot of facts laid out about him, and I think that's what he most hates about this case not going away, and how we keep bringing up all the things he's trying to sweep under the rug, or don't look at this, or don't look at me, or don't look at this department.
Right. And it kind of makes me think, I don't know. It's there are things that happen that are distractions, and it makes me wonder if crime might get worse, if you know what I'm talking about, to create a distraction away from this case.
Oh, quite possible, but thankfully our
knows?
streamers aren't giving up, and
Right?
Yeah, I don't think
Strong
our streamers
community.
are gonna budge.
Yeah, we're not turning our heads.
no,
I don't think you're gonna silence our streamers.
no.
So I have another article here on the primetime. This one is from like the 80s, if you want to bring that one up.
All right, you got it.
Alright.
And we're all still here. I didn't kick us out.
So yeah, this one was from back, I think it says, May 6, 1986. Blessed that it was put on the internet for us. It talks about like a lot of his case, his things he did. A lot of gory stuff, but I'm trying to find right here. Nope. Right here, a $10,000 reward was offered for his capture. So the R word took off his ski mask and then freebased some C word during his latest essay. Right? So I'm like, ski mask, the prime time who attacked people on that same street as Nancy also wore a ski mask. I don't know if anybody has any thoughts about that, but I wanted to put that up because now I've got some pictures of some different ski masks that I wanted to creep us all out with. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah, I had to go over that. I was looking at comments, but I had to.
Yeah.
I had to read that again.
Yeah, right? Like, I'd be like, whoa, so the primetime also wore a ski mask. Like, oh, okay. On the same street. Like, it's just another thing to be like, okay, they say this man unalived himself, and we're hoping they got the right man when they chased him down and did this. But what if he was a Richard's father or a Mike to some other young psycho who is now grown up? I mean, it's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if any of this gets back to Richard, we're not like saying anything.
Talking about Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker.
We'll clear that up just so you don't hate us.
That Richard Ramirez also had an abusive father and a cousin named Mike, not a brother. It was a cousin, everyone. It's just mind-blowing, but yeah, no relation.
Yeah,
But
we
I
don't
know
want to name.
The ski mask thing is big. I know the house behind me, I live in a very quiet, peaceful neighborhood, but there's this group of teenagers, and the house behind me was broken into while the elderly couple was inside, and it was 4 teenagers. They were all wearing ski masks. And so, and I'm on the other side of the country here. But it happens, that's just people, it's ski masks are a thing now. But when it happens in the same neighborhood over and over, yeah, that's kind of creepy. So what year was that?
Muted, yeah, 1986.
86, okay. See, my mom's listening with me right now, so shout out to my mom for saying
Hi,
86
Mom.
for me. But yeah, it's creepy. It really is.
It is creepy. Marianne in chat, I wanted to ask this. Marianne asked if the country club that Nanos belongs to, is it private? I don't know the answer to that question. I want to say that it is, but I don't know. Do you all know?
I don't know, but I would agree that it's private just because that's normally what country clubs are.
Right.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, for those who pay, you have to pay a price.
But I heard she wasn't. Not in the country club, but like in the the association or whatever. Yeah. Which it's not called HOA there. It's called something
Yes,
else,
that's
I think.
No, but I mean the country club itself that he belongs to,
Oh, okay.
where he golfs and all that stuff.
And
Now,
is it
Chris
true that
and-
Tommaso played golf with him?
Oh, that would be an interesting fact to know.
Because I heard they did. But you hear a lot of things. I don't know if that's, rumor or what. But
Right? I've heard they gambled together. They
yeah, right.
And then Paige wanted to know, and this made me giggle. How the heck do they know that he freebased Coca-Cola?
Right? I mean, yeah, it was right, like in the middle of
I don't
his,
know. Maybe
like,
he looked like a powdered donut. I don't know.
I can post that article on my YouTube page, I guess, or a link to it or something in post if people want to read it more.
That gave me a laugh. I wanted to ask that question out loud.
Right?
Yeah, I had to go on mute so I didn't laugh so hard and snort and oh my god. Yeah, I had to mute myself. It got me.
What week will we get Mystic to snort on camera?
No.
The next photo I have it's a ski mask. I have two different photos, this one and another one, that were from the Golden State Killer. Now, I don't believe that this one had any ties to Tucson, but just wanted to look at, like, we're talking about all these SKs and wearing ski masks. And this is the style of ski mask that an SK would wear throughout history. We see, even in Monk's Zodiac videos, it's a big hood, like it seems like a lot of creepy SKs like to wear weird ski masks. Now I'll bring this one down and put another one up here, Mystic. Please hold.
So yeah, it's not like a bandana wrapped around your face, and
right?
Like you're not dressed like Billy the Kid.
Right, exactly. That this does lead to somewhere, I promise, that after I show these ski masks, that I have some photos of what I believe, what you see gangsters, thugs, the bad boys of this generation wearing aren't these same ski masks. So yeah, I have that one ready, Mystic, if you want to bring up. This is also another Golden State. He supposedly wore both of these ski masks. Creepy ski masks.
Wow. Wow.
Like, and our porch perp was donning a mask much more like this than the masks that I'm about to show you. Which I think, like, 857 showing us that crime map the other day, and talking the gang theory is going to be absolutely interesting to watch. When someone, us, him, Patriot, someone looks into the gang in the area. He said there was a number, and I don't remember, but he said there was a lot of active gangs in that area currently.
Yeah, and he had it color coded too. And maybe I should go back. I was a little distracted when I was.
Well, I mean, we were on Patriot Pride, so it was distracting.
Well, I was distracted when I was distracted in Damien's chat. It was kind of like getting like JLR's chat a little bit, and it was distracting. And I was trying to listen and read chats, and I don't know why I was doing that. I should have swiped them. But I want to go back and look at that map that he had up and listen to that part again.
Yes, absolutely. Maybe next week we could bring it up and look into that more too.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, this one is just a stock image I stole from Google. But this is what actual like gangsters are wearing out there. Masks like this. They're more nylon. They're not a wool ski mask. Like In my opinion, I don't think that these gangbangers want to look funny in an old ski mask or even a new ski mask. It'd be like, Mom, I'm not wearing this lame ski mask. I want to look cool like all my friends. I need one of these ones.
Yeah.
And so for that reason, I think that I don't think it's a gang just because of that. And I know it's ridiculous why I wouldn't think so, but the gangbangers or whatever you want to call them that I see wear masks like this.
Yeah, and the bangers also represent with everything that they wear, how they walk, how, you know what I mean? So,
Color, style. Yeah, absolutely. Right.
Right. I agree. They have those certain patterns on their bandanas that they wear, and
Right.
they'll use
they're not
those.
wearing a wool ski mask like typically,
Like
especially
from
in
the
the
80s.
last three. Yeah, the last, like all the SKs that we just looked through, they're all wearing scary, very scary ski masks. I think these gangbangers, even in the numbers that they are, if one man walked up to them in a scary ski mask, I think the gangbangers might run.
Yeah. But you know what?
I would.
Right? But you know what I also think about too? That's what reminds me. I know a lot of people think that the porch perp is younger. I don't. And
I
if
think
we,
because of the attire, I agree with that. I also don't think they're young.
I think mid-30s to 40.
I mean, yeah, I just don't.
Yeah, the mid-30s to 40s makes sense. There isn't a lot of crow's feet on their eyes in the ski mask. So it doesn't look like they're above
But
40.
that could be taped to do like a DIY facelift. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I would need tape for that, guys. It's going to take a lot more than Scotch tape to get rid of my double chin and my crow's feet.
Don't talk about yourself like that.
Hey, self-esteem issues. We'll discuss that on my channel later.
But I mean, we all face that, and I do understand. I've seen some YouTube channels. I don't know if you all have seen what I'm talking about, where they're like, "Oh, just put tape from your eye, like behind your, like on your temple to your back of your ear."
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, okay. But I think people can do it. I'm just saying.
I just put up another picture of the gangbangers. Not Tucson gangbangers, just generic Google image search gangbangers.
We've come a long way since the pantyhose on the face. I mean, that's how they used to do it. We got masks now.
So it just makes me think, and I've thought like that all along, that if it was gang related, I think we'd be looking at a perp that looked more like this and maybe not like a ski mask. But I could be wrong. They could just be doing it to throw us off.
But look how they're similar as far as how they're dressed and everything,
That's true, right? They all
Speaking
have
of
a
that,
style.
guys, all right, so the guy that stormed the Today Show that breached security there and everything, everybody saw the images of them, right? The light blue shirt, the khaki shorts. The other guy that we don't know nothing about, the light blue shirt, the khaki shorts. Did you guys see what Sleuth was wearing when he went outside live streaming, I think yesterday? He was wearing a light blue shirt and khaki shorts. I kid you not. When he was talking to the homeless people, he walked in front of his own camera and I was dying. He was wearing a light blue shirt and khaki shorts.
Now that you bring that up, like hilarious. Whoops, Sleuth packed the wrong outfit this weekend. But it is so crazy though. There's no mention of who that second man is, dressed just like the first and shackled to True Love, being taken out of the Today Show with True Love. But there's no mention. And when you look on all the articles, I tried to look last night, and it's just only about him and no mention of who this other guy was. in my mind, I thought maybe the other guy cleared security somehow, and because he looked a little more proper than Andrew Truelove, you know? And then maybe like they switched places, like played like a Olsen twin switch kind of thing. And then Truelove got in, and although someone had to, you know, when he asks for Al Roker, and then they're like, oh, he's not here or something. And then he asks for Craig, and it's almost like whoever he asked, maybe the fired security guard, pointed, oh yeah, he's in that back stairwell or something, you know, because how does he go right to him? And then they said that Craig was the one that had to call security.
That whole thing is just odd to me. How do you breach security there?
It feels funny at Rockefeller Plaza. How does that happen?
Yeah, you don't breach security there. So I don't know how that happened, but we'll probably never know, but something's not right there.
No. TC is asking, does anyone think that Nancy was taken to be disappeared? And I think if I'm reading your question correctly, TC, I think you mean, was she taken to another location because, you know, she wanted to disappear type thing? Tell me if I'm wrong, TC, but I don't know. What do y'all think?
Right, so if I tell you what I think, people are going to hate on me. But I'm going to tell you anyway, because I don't care.
Okay. It's your opinion.
So I suspect Annie and Tommaso had something to do with it. I suspect that. So I play this in my head. I feel like her money was disappearing. I know Tommaso has control over all her stuff. He was her caregiver more than Annie, which I still find odd because my son-in-law, my husband's not going to take care of my mom and dad and do everything for them. I mean, he helps me out, but he's not their caregiver. He's not their power of attorney, the guardian. But he had a lot of, what do you want to call it? He could do a lot. I believe he could get to her bank account. I think money was missing. I think she caught on to it. I think she was pissed off, and I think that's why she got the Uber there, because why wouldn't they pick her up? They took her home. Why would you let mom take an Uber?
Definitely been a question.
So I think she
Or
caught on
did
to it. They weren't answering the phone. I think she hopped on the Uber, went over there. They had words, and I think she was shut up. I don't think she was meant to disappear. I think they shut her up, and then they made it look like a kidnapping.
Right. I don't think she ever made it home. That's my opinion.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, I agree with you. They had access to her money.
Yeah.
So, I did catch another question before I went off comments. So, Marianne is asking all of us, what do we think? Do we think the porch perp is still alive? Let's see. I think I'm missing a portion.
On the porch perp. I 70% of the time think that the porch perp doesn't actually have anything to do with her disappearance. I think he was a car hopping porch pirate. It's a possibility. If, in one of my theories, it's not that in all of my theories, right? Because I'm talking about a SK wearing a dirty old ski mask. So obviously not all of my theories, but there are reports of car hopping in that neighborhood. There were reports that came out that even some people had lost their pew-pews out of their cars, and the police said, well, why didn't you report it? And they were like, well, I wasn't sure it was stolen. I could have just misplaced it. And then Nancy, even in December, was posting on her community chat about, did anyone receive my package? It's missing, So she does have porch pirates coming there. We saw how many packages that woman got in the first 2 weeks. She ordered stuff online for delivery constantly. So her house might have been a hot spot for just car hopping porch pirates.
That's a big possibility. Part of me feels like he was just a prop. So, you know, he's a prop.
Yes,
He's just
right.
part
That
of
in another
the
theory, he was
scheme
sent there to be a bad man. Go look
to
like
make it look like
that,
a
right?
kidnapping.
And how would you dress if you're trying to look like a bad man? Like all the masks we just saw, like the
Right.
serial
Again,
killers.
yeah, mystic, right? That goes along with what you last stated to make it
Right.
fade. And the other part of Marianne's question that I couldn't remember at the time was, why do you think no one has recognized the porch perp? And do you think he's not alive anymore? So I just wanted to make sure that I stated it clearly.
Yeah, I think that most logically falls into Mystic's theory, right? That there is no outside bad man to be recognized. That's why no one can recognize him. It's not
Well,
someone's
and if they
weird
did recognize
cousin. It's not.
Yeah, and if he was recognized and somebody had called in and said, you know, hey, that's Jesus, you know, or and if the sheriff is in on this, and if the sheriff, I'm not saying he did anything, but maybe he knows something, maybe he's keeping quiet, making certain things go away. Yeah, I mean, if somebody did notice him, what's going to be done if he knows something about what happened? He's just going to cover it
Right.
up.
Well, right.
Maybe it's been Carlos the whole time. Maybe he was hired to do that. Maybe
You
Dan
know-
Colella was hired to do it. Who knows, you know?
Right.
And, you know, we were only shown that video, the two photos, one standing back and then one right in the entrance of the doorway. So from what I understand, there's more, but we're only being shown
They
this.
have to have more, right? Like they have
And
to
there's
have more.
only thumbnails of the others. So, you know, someone controlled this information. And, you know, when I mentioned that I strongly believe, in my opinion, that he is involved somehow, there's other reasons why he's involved, though. It's not just, I don't think it's just like, oh, you know, he knows something, lackadaisically meaning. I mean, yeah, he knows something, and there's a reason why he can't let it come out, let it get out.
So here's
And-
the
Well, I
thing
mean,
about
I
these thumbnails, these images that they caught that they're not releasing to us. They're from other cameras outside of the house, and there was also a camera inside the house.
Mhm.
That person was never caught on the camera inside. Why? How? They knew where the
Yeah,
cameras
is
were.
that because she never came home?
Or she
Right.
never came home. Exactly.
And the only people viewing on those inside cameras are do 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 do.
We're gonna say, oh, we can't access those cameras.
The only people on those cameras, it's like, you know, we've talked about this in plain sight. I mean, in plain sight, the people that are on the cameras are A&T and Nancy.
Yeah. And of course they're on camera, so you
But
know.
we're looking, or we're being faked out to be looking for someone on the inside cameras that has a mask on.
Right. Exactly.
And so, yeah,
And the only way that, you know, and even the ones we're not seeing, they were only caught on the outside cameras. It's because the guy's a prop. The porch guy is a prop.
I agree with you.
truly believe
We
it.
have no proof he was ever inside that house.
That's right.
Yeah.
Although
And
the back
if she
doors were
was
propped
taken
open,
at
so
like,
he could have gone in.
if she was taken up in the morning hours, why didn't she take her 10 o'clock medicine when she got home? She walked in the house before 10 o'clock, right before 10 o'clock. First thing you're going to do is take your medicine.
Yeah.
She took it religiously at 10 o'clock.
Your nightly routine.
And it wasn't taken because she wasn't there. That's how I feel. My opinion,
Right.
allegedly, and all that good stuff, you know, it's just,
We've circled around so many other theories, but yet we are here back at this one where it's 96% chance she knew her attacker.
You know, we can go to Italy, we can go to here and there and look at all this stuff and dive down these rabbit holes. Most of the time it's just the simple thing that's right in front of you and right under your nose. You know, it's sometimes you look so hard for something, it's right there the whole time, and you're like, how did I not see that? And I do believe it. I do believe this is the case.
Yeah, because I don't believe it's as complicated as we're made to believe it is.
Right.
There should have been more progress by now. I mean, come on. So,
So what do we think? Do we think the FBI is really looking at this and they're gonna, you know, they're just getting something together? Do you think that's why the family hasn't been seen? They're enjoying their time together before they go bye-bye?
I don't know. I don't know, but I don't think it's odd that a case doesn't get solved before a year. I don't think that doesn't mean that it won't get solved. If it's after 6 months or if it's at a year or whatever, I don't think that at all. I do know that, you know, once the FBI moves forward, like really moves forward, they are 99% sure, right? Because their conviction rate is so high. And so
Do you think that Nanos is sweating bullets, wondering if they're going to uncover something?
oh yeah, every day, every single
Yeah.
day. I feel it almost. It's like almost sometimes I'll just be moving around, just doing my own thing, and I can feel it. Like I'll think about Nancy and it's like I don't know. Of course, if I were this genius, I could solve the case. Well, I'm not a genius, and I don't know. I'm in the boat with everybody else. You know, we don't know for sure. But I do believe he has something very real to be nervous about every single day. And
Yeah.
whatever that is, if he gets caught, he knows he's done.
And that's why we have so much white noise, and that's why he's funny about who he talks to.
Of course.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, he may pass it off as, well, you know, the other people aren't going to tell the truth. And, you know, I only trust this type of media. No, again, transactional. Only people that he can have in his pocket.
Exactly.
To pull out as needed. And so, yeah, I believe he has something very real to worry about every single day. You know, one interesting thought that I had was sheriffs around here, once they nab drug houses, once they get, you know, they're successful on a sting, they have to worry about their safety, not just on the job, but when they go home. They have to worry about their family members. Isn't it odd that Nanos, it doesn't seem like that, and these are up and up sheriffs and deputies and detectives and officers, right? And they have to worry about, you know, when they handcuff and who they handcuff and who's going to come after them afterwards. Isn't it weird that Nanos, that it doesn't seem like that's what he has to worry about?
It doesn't seem he's worried about anything like that.
No, because I think that brings us back to that fear piece that we talked about, that people are in fear. and he's got so many people in his pocket.
I think
But
as far as the deputies go, I think the deputies are afraid to go to sleep at night because of him.
yeah, of
Are they
course.
afraid of him?
But so it is so, that is so telling to me. So telling.
Right? Like, not only do they have to worry about their safety or what he's making them do, but also if they don't agree with it, they might not have a job the next day, or they might be on neighbor complaints and parking, like
Or
Sergeant Aaron
something
Cross.
worse, we
Yeah.
don't know. Like, oh, we're so sorry to have lost this deputy. He
Right? Like that
he offed
one
himself
deputy.
and
Yeah, exactly. That tried to bring charges up on Nanos, and then, oh, he chooses to go to his neighbor's yard to unalive himself. And then their response to that is, no, for the wife's sake, let's not investigate this. Like, excuse me, your deputy just took his own life for a reason, Like,
yeah, people
the
know that
morale
they
in that
could lose
station,
their lives if they go up against Nanos.
right? Because it was also said
Especially,
he jabbed that guy in like the back of the courthouse or wherever they were when he was filing the complaint before he went and unalived himself.
Yeah, did he really unalive himself?
Yeah, exactly. When Nanos was the first one on scene.
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. He's got everyone in his pocket, from the coroner all the way through that county. And it's, he's taken time to, I don't know that it took him a lot of time to create all these transactional relationships. I think because he's very manipulative, and I do believe he is very manipulative. He knows how to handle it quickly. Like, he knows how to move through a room and get people scared very quickly. And there's a reason behind that. He did that in his past positions. He had to have.
Yeah, he did. He's a bully. That's what bullies do.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But the one sheriff that that gave 857 his citation, you could tell he did not like what he was doing. He was only doing it because he had the orders. He saw that they were doing nothing wrong. He said it. He said it all on the live. He put it in his report. So I'm gonna be watching out for this guy. Like, if something happens to him, it's like I'm scared for that deputy.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you can tell that he did not agree with any of that. So I don't think he's a fan of his boss.
CL says she wants to share some dishes and things that she makes in Discord, but
Yum.
I say
Yeah, I
no,
just
she can't.
posted the link.
I say no, she can't unless she's going to send us some in the mail.
Mail us samples.
Right?
You're gonna have to try those dishes before you post it.
Yeah. Those are the rules.
Yeah, taste test, we got to do that. You got to make sure you don't poison the chat.
I'm just teasing, CL. I'm just teasing.
But yeah, definitely post it.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
got the
one of
link
those.
there for
You
everyone.
post it anywhere.
Everyone join. If you're not
Yeah,
on
you
our
can post it
Discord yet.
anywhere. Post it in the Nancy discussion, even. It does,
Yeah. Yeah, I think she described jambalaya.
Oh. I can't see a lot of the chat when I'm on my phone. Like, I see bits and pieces. Like one chat at a time. I know that I can click on chat button and just bring up the whole chat, but like I said, you guys know me. I will poof us so quick.
Oh my goodness, I poofed myself
worth
out
the
of here
risk.
like 5 times tonight.
It's bad.
I felt
did
so
that.
bad. I'm like, oh my goodness, Mystic is going to be so mad at me. I did it again.
No, I'm horrible. I did it when me and Brenda went on Patriot Pride that Wednesday when he wanted us all on panel. You have no. Oh my God! I was in and out of that backstage like crazy.
I kept going there to charge my headphones.
Yeah, I constantly do it. I don't know why. I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, if anybody
Riders, do you
gets
have a
it,
channel?
What's that?
Do you have a channel?
I do.
I don't know if you can post the link. Oh no, I just subscribed, right?
yeah, you just
So I will.
subscribed
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
Okay, I'll
I
post the
can't
link
go
in chat for
off.
you.
I can't post in. Oh, thank you. I can't post in there right now because if I do go off, I will be gone again.
Yep. Mirror.
Thank you so much.
Yes, no
Yeah, and
problem.
I'll be going
Thanks for
live
being on
on
panel with us
mine.
tonight.
What's that?
Brenda, go ahead.
I just said thank you for joining us on panel. Of course.
Oh
no
yeah,
problem.
it was
Thanks for your
wonderful.
channel.
I loved it. Once I got past the falling down constantly. Yeah, it was great talking with y'all.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Great conversation.
Yeah, and I loved hearing about your rabbit holes and the articles and video that you pulled up. I love that. It really gets your mind thinking, right? And it may not be directly like a direct article about this current case, but it gets your mind really thinking on a deeper level about this case.
Right? If there were a few things that were just weird coincidences again, and it just worth saying, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
You know, and talking about the copycats, you know, and getting in the mind of some of these SKs, you know, it's very interesting. It's all very
Yeah.
interesting, and the whole
It brings
Richard Michael
that
thing freaked me out.
hypothetical situation back up the list of theories for me again.
All right, so what is it that we wanted to look up? We wanted to find out the date that one thing was put into effect.
Yes, the no chase rule.
Yeah, so we're going to dive into that. We'll find that out. And I wanted to go back and look at some of the interviews because I wanted to find the one where he actually said he was there Saturday night. I want to find out what that was about. I want to make sure I clip that spot. So,
right.
But yeah, we have a little homework. And also, I'm going to
Keeps
check
us out
out
of
the
trouble.
interview room. I'm going to check out the interview room and
yeah,
everybody check that out if you haven't, because I'm going to. I heard it was awesome. And
yeah.
Big City Crime.
Yes.
Guys, go subscribe.
Right? I've got a lot of their videos to catch up on, I guess.
TC asked, why was he at the crime scene, meaning sheriff? I guess she means Saturday night or whenever he was. I hope that's what she means. But I think we touched on that already. You know, I think we're all wondering that, right?
Yeah, I
because
definitely don't
he's
have an
usually
answer
not.
for
Hmm?
I don't think he usually goes to the crime scenes of things
No.
like that, does he?
No. That wouldn't be typical.
that. Right?
Somebody said he was trashed, and I guess when it first, at the beginning of all of it, and he was hung over on that first interview that night out in front of the house. So I've gone back and I've actually played a couple of his interviews and back to that one, and I was going, oh, okay, well, it's late. Maybe he's tired, but it does appear that he's hungover. So I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
according to the interview room, he gets pretty wild on the weekends.
Wouldn't doubt it, right?
And that was the weekend.
Yep, sure was. Great point. Great catch.
Well, who knows? We're gonna dive deeper. We're gonna get some stuff relative to the case, and hopefully we got something interesting for next Monday night.
Yeah.
Maybe even we'll get some new breaking clues.
Yeah.
Hopefully the case is solved. I just
Right? Maybe
I
the
want
DNA
justice.
will come back.
You know, that would be nice, wouldn't it? But I don't know.
Yeah, we won't hold our breath.
Right?
No. All I know is I want justice for Nancy. I
Yep.
just my heart breaks for her.
Facts.
Wherever she is, I just want her to be brought to a beautiful place to rest. And
Yeah.
for the ones that did this to pay. And I mean everyone involved.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I think if we could find her, then there will be the clues there that will lead to an absolute arrest, right?
Yeah. So I really hope the FBI is working behind the scenes right now. I hope during all this silence and our frustration of not hearing anything, I hope that the gears are turning and things are happening. We just
Yeah,
don't
and
know.
I don't think it's because we don't see them moving around the property, We don't know. And their headquarters was moved out to Phoenix, I think. So we definitely aren't going to see, but I have confidence that they are definitely working this case.
Right. I do too. Just because
The
we don't see anything
FBI
or hear anything don't mean it's not happening.
Yeah, the FBI, I would assume they've run into other sheriffs and county departments before and agencies. I don't think they're afraid.
Right.
I really don't.
Yeah, it can't be their first Nanos type.
No, I mean, I think Nanos is pretty unique in his nerve, but this wouldn't be the first time that there were some turf issues, right? Or at least brought up. So
Well, we
I
know we
don't
have
the
any faith
FBI what?
I
I'm
was
sorry.
gonna say, we don't have faith in the sheriff's office. I got to try to find faith and keep hope in the FBI.
Yeah, and the FBI isn't such an agency that goes on to a case, goes on to a crime scene and like, oh man, Nanos doesn't want us here. No. FBI, that's not how they operate.
Well, they're a lot bigger than just a little sheriff's department. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. They're a large agency. So, and a well-trusted agency. And so they just don't operate like that. We just have to hang in there.
I know there's corruption everywhere, and I know it goes high up. But in this case, I don't feel like that's it at all. I believe it stops at the sheriff's office. I'd love to see him go down for the things he's done.
Yep. He will eventually. He will. It's just not right when we want it, but he will.
Right.
Yeah, we're definitely not giving up.
No. And I want to thank you for sharing my channel and designing my life.
Tell us again a little more about your channel.
So the meaning behind my name, Designing My Life, is I got to a point in my life where I realized I can redesign my life at any point and as many times as I want. I can start over, and I call it redesigning because I get to choose. I get to choose. So it's not a design channel, but it is about, and if you go on my channel, I have a lot of shorts that have quotes and things, and most of them are drawn from my own life experiences. That's how I created them. So, and what I learned, my life lessons, what I came out of those life lessons. And I would sometimes sit down, it's like, oh yeah, I would sum it up that way, or I would sum it up this way, and I would make it into a short. So, you know, I have done some crime cases on there, very local ones, and I haven't done any since the last one that I did, which was here in Florida, the suitcase murdering girlfriend, or my goodness, I'm sorry, red rum girlfriend. So, Sarah, I don't know if you all are familiar, but anyway, I haven't,
but I'm going to go to your channel and check it out.
yeah. I did some on that, but anyway, I have I have not done live since then, and I'm going to again. I just have to focus in on what my lives would be about, or be okay that they're not so focused at first again. Because in talking with you ladies and talking to Mystic, it's like, it's okay if you don't have like this whole scripted out,
Right? Yeah. That let the kind of stream have a life of its own, lead where it goes, where the chatters are talking about, bringing up different things.
Yeah. So
Exactly. So you guys need some inspiration, or, just some general reminders. Go check our channel out.
Thank
Want a
you
nice
so
place
much.
to relax. I got my stream going up. You can go sit on the porch of my cabin and enjoy a nice little thunderstorm. It'll always be up unless my internet goes out.
Nice. And Brenda is working on hers, right? You're working on yours, Brenda?
Yeah, I've been posting not so much true crime yet, but I plan to. I've got some different stories in mind, some different things that have happened here, some different just mysteries about this city. It's over 100 years old, the city where I live. It's in the capital of Canada. So there's lots of things like covered up and, just like the way they used to be, or tunnels under the city, or there were these
Nice.
caves that were down by the river, and now they've got the caves closed up. But supposedly this one cave went like 100 meters down, and it ended right under this church, and supposedly there were like stalagmites and stalactites in there, and it was quite beautiful. And I'd love to get in the basement of this church and see if there's a way to get down, because I can't imagine that church was probably built on that ground for a reason.
Right. That is
So I don't-
amazing.
different things like that. Right now I've got a lot of concert videos, a little
I
metal
saw that.
detecting. Yeah.
I saw that you had was it the blues or the jazz fest?
Yeah, Blues Fest. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that. That was cool. That came across my feed. And I'm like,
Nice.
oh, okay. Cool.
Hey, I'm out there.
Yeah.
So jealous. I wish there was something like that in my area.
Right. And then, yeah, my friend, he lives in London, England now. And so he's been sending me some crazy videos. And I'm like, can I post this on my YouTube of a graffiti tunnel there in London, England? And the artwork is just beautiful. And he says supposedly Banksy still to this day goes in there and paints, but by morning it could be painted over, because it's just like a kind of a free for all, but
Oh,
of
wow.
actual talented art,
Wow, that's neat.
Yeah.
So definitely, guys,
Yeah.
go check out Brenda's channel. It's very interesting, and I know there's more to come. She's got things in the works, so yeah,
I've got lots of ideas.
Keep that notifications on. Make sure you hit the all so that you're notified when she uploads anything, and yeah, give her some support. All right,
Thank you,
closing
Mystic.
thoughts.
Thank you, Hiders.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Hiders.
Well, I just enjoyed being up. Thank you for asking me tonight.
It
I
was
really
great having you
appreciate
on.
it. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
absolutely. It was great to have you.
Thank you. It was great
Yeah.
being up here with you guys.
It's nice to
We're here every Monday, so come on
yeah,
back.
it's nice to hear your voice.
Okay.
we see you as a mod, so it's great that you're up here and we can hear your voice and
Aw,
see
thank
who,
you.
see who you are, you know, and
Yeah.
let people in chat get to know who you really are.
Yeah. That's always nice, isn't it?
It is. I was afraid I was going to scare people away when I started going on panel, but so far, so far, knock on wood.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, we can't ever control what other people think or what they think they know. We can just be ourselves and be respectful, and can't go wrong with that. If we're just ourselves and we're respectful to others,
We've got a good group, a great community, and it overjoys me every day seeing how we come together, whether it's on our channel or all the other channels, to see how we all support each other and we're all, in this together. So
yeah, different opinions, different people from all over the world come together, and it's great.
Right?
yeah, that is awesome.
Really
That
is.
really- that's how things are accomplished.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. All right. Well, I guess we'll call it a night. I
Okay.
gotta pee
Thank you,
anyway.
everyone, for being with us.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you all.
All right.
It's a
See you
great
next
night.
Monday,
Come back
guys.
next Monday. Yeah.
Right. Talk to you
Bye,
soon. Have a
everybody.
great night.
Good night.
Bye.